Well, hello there everyone, and welcome to the Bar Brawl. It's nice to have you here. So, today's Bar Brawl, this week's Bar Brawl, I essentially want to talk about things on the channel, things I'm having planned, where I'm taking the Bar Brawl especially. Just basically talk about things that I haven't really been able to, or I haven't really gotten into in much depth. So we'll be talking about the Bar Brawl and what exactly the Bar Brawl is going to be past what it currently is. We're going to be talking about shows and just like the general plans and stuff. We've talked about them a little bit, but oh right, I also need to do this. I believe it's here. Is it here? I think it's here. Oh no, it's not that. It's where is it? Did I mess it up? Is it? Ah, there we go. Hello. It doesn't look very good, but I thought I'd do it for no apparent reason. So, I think starting off, I'll just pretty much open the floor for anything that anyone would like to ask. In chat. Hey there, chat. How's it going? I don't know whether anyone. I don't know whether anyone has has things they want to ask, or even particularly how many people are here. I find for the Bar Brawl, because it's a shorter like loading time, people tend to turn up to it later. Hey Sheepy, when the Patreon is going to get sorted? So the Patreon should be sorted this week. Yeah, yeah, so I think it's worth setting up now. Well, this is the thing, is the idea behind the Patreon initially is going to be funding the shows, and more specifically funding the payment of the cast. So before I go into like, you know, trying to earn money, trying to get support for like the art and the overlays and you know, all the extra stuff, like the most important thing to me is that we're paying the cast for the shows. So and the thing is currently for Sunkissed, all those lovely people have been doing the show with no payment. It's something I actually made sure everyone was cool with. I basically said, you know, I'm not trying to earn any money off the show, particularly. You know, there's going to be no like push for Patreons. There's not going to be any push for donations or bits or anything like that. So yeah, like what I'll do is I'll be more flexible. Like if people aren't sure they can make the show, if they're feeling a little bit under the weather, we'll be flexible with when they can come in and when they. Sorry, I have hiccups for some reason. When they can do the show and when they can't do the show, just flexible in that kind of way, and trying to give them the best game I could. Like so what I went with there. Which means like when I set up the Patreon, I'm not sure, do I start paying the Sunkissed crew, or do I wait till we actually officially start the new set of games? So yeah, that's basically I want to get the Patreon set up, but I also don't want people to be contributing and giving money, and then I have nothing to do with that money, in the sense of paying the cost. I guess it could go towards production for the shows until the shows start, but I'm not sure. I'll have to. I want to be. I want to like with me shutting down the Sheepdog Gaming Patreon. I want to be as upfront as possible and basically be like, yo, you know, the Sheepdog Gaming Patreon is getting shut down, but make sure you cancel your Patreon anyway. I'm not planning, and I will not start it up again randomly and then get whatever money it is people, you know. But just on the safe side, it's best to cancel those so that you don't get caught out or something. So yeah, that's Patreon stuff, and the Patreon will be up soon for the Wandering In. I'm not gonna have a Patreon for my kind of YouTube gaming stuff just because I'm not doing any at the moment, and when I do it, it's gonna be a lot more veered towards storytelling as opposed to gaming, and it will be something of a pet project and like something I want to do for myself and for fun. So there won't be any like it's important to separate the Wandering In stuff from the sheepy stuff a little bit. Sheepy being on the bartender head was deliberate, yes. So yeah, that's the basic vibe and answer to the Patreon stuff. Why is Rogue Trader your favorite? What would you like to see in a Rogue Trader game that you haven't yet? Ooh, I've seen a lot in Rogue Trader games, but I'd kind of like to see people get a bit more into the empire building and the politicking and stuff in Rogue Trader. It can be a lot of fun. You know, very often people want to get into fights and ship fights and stuff like that, but it can also be fun to, like, you know, go find a planet, set up a colony, start mining, well, start having people mine for you, etc. So yeah, like, and Rogue Trader is my favorite game because A, it was one of my first I GM'd, B, it was one of the first things I ever saw played, and I really enjoy 40k, and I feel Rogue Trader just gives that sense of epicness better than any of the other systems. You know, you can literally set up a little corner of the galaxy which is just yours as an empire, and you can own like colonies and mines and production factories, and you can trade like ridiculous artifacts for influence and wealth, and have like a massive fleet of hundreds of ships if you want. So that's a lot of fun. Did the spook help? The boo? The boo, I mean, I'm not hiccuping anymore, so I guess, of course it did. Hey Sheepy, I have not many questions, but I have an answer. Or a statement, I guess, yeah. Thank you for bringing The Last Ditch back. Last cast is amazing. Everyone is amazing. It is the best. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Captain Defiance. It's, yeah, you know, it's, Last Ditch is something that has been nice to do because, you know, we had Charlie Foxtrot, and because I don't know that many people, or I didn't know that many people, it was very hard to maintain getting new casts in. So it's been kind of cool to do something similar but different, and kind of carry on that thing. I think I still like Dark Heresy best. Yeah, no, I do really like Dark Heresy. It's just very different. It's very specifically small scale, which can be really cool. But one of the downfalls of 40k is small scale. You have to think about things like food and, like, you know, drinks and all of these like everyday things, and you're like, what What the fuck do people eat in 40k? Are there cows? I don't think there are cows. Are there cats? Do they eat cats? Right? So. But Rogue Trader is a close second. Rogue Trader is a lot of fun. When is Rogue Trader? When is Rogue Trader? When is Charlie Foxtrot coming back? Well, Tashnor. Charlie Foxtrot will come back at the same time as the next season of Firefly. Thank you. Oh, it's, yeah. Rats. There are always rats. There are always rats. Yes, yes. Skitty Skaven. Worship the wheat mother. I would think 40k has a lot of chickens. They're easy to raise. Yeah, maybe. There are rumors of a remake or reboot. That is not season 2 of Firefly. So, or that's not the next season of Firefly. I can't remember what I said. I may just have to take it back. So yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk a little bit. This Bar Brawl will not be 7 hours like the last one is, mostly because I don't have Trooper here. Trooper and me apparently just go on ad eternum, until the sky turns into until the sun turns into a ball of ice. I just wanted to have a little live stream where I talk about this, and then also put it onto YouTube, so that can be, that can be there for people to go and check out, and see what I'm talking about, and maybe get interested in these things. I legit woke up and you were still at it. Yes. I think a couple of people went off to work or fell asleep and then came back and we were still going with the tier list probably. When is Chaos Lost coming back then? I would honestly say at this point, I don't think it is, at least in that iteration. We haven't talked about it for quite a while. I think it is very much a case of everyone's often doing other things. It was a cool show, and I have ideas and thoughts and plans to do something similar. The thing is that was EE's. Could you survive another Chaos show? Oh, that is another point. Yeah. Because the Chaos show was on EE's channel, obviously I don't want to just be I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use it on my channel. But I think it could be a good way for fundraising for the channel. Or if we do if we do a charity stream or a charity show, something similar to Chaos could be really fun. So essentially my plan is to do something similar. But obviously not the same thing, and it won't be the Chaos show. It'll be its own thing that's a little bit different, runs a little bit different, and works a little bit different essentially. May even be another system. It's always fun. Work it into VTM, right? Vampire the Masquerade Chaos. That'd be fun for everyone, wouldn't it? Just. So yeah, let's have this may actually be reasonably quick a show, to be honest, or an episode. Did I set everyone on fire? I don't think I set everyone on fire. I did separate your skeletons from your bodies. I think Mage Chaos could be fun. Doing that for one episode would be mental. Yeah. Wait, I didn't do a VTM Chaos. Sunkissed isn't a VTM Chaos. Don't lie. How many more episodes of VTM do you think you have left? I'm assuming you meant VTM or yeah. So Sunkissed, it's hard to tell. We've got to finish the stories for the characters is the thing. So I would think probably minimum we have like 6. Even 6 episodes is too short, really. I could see it going on for like another 10 and 10 plus. Honestly, the thing is tying off all the character stories, and getting them to a point where like they're, because we've had Mac and Marlowe, we've had Cassius, and we've had Alec, and all their stories have tied off in satisfying ways. I don't want to just one day go, and we fade out. And Chris is still trying to figure out what she wants to do, and Tess is still wandering around like maybe a bad guy, and Nahari has no idea what's going on with her shadow, but we're ending the show, so bye! You know? I'd much prefer to finish what we can, and then take the like endings if we need to a snack shot and get them finished up. I'd prefer to finish them live, you know, like finish them on the live stream shows. But there's always a possibility that like Vandy's character and Tessachka's character finish, and we're still going with Chris, and then it would make more sense rather than doing like a one-on-one me and Tash stream to finish off Chris's story. We just take it to like a snack shot and finish off like that. The Shadows thing is interesting. I've been enjoying that, and it's been really cool to mess with Tessachka like that, because you know she started off having a reasonably easy time of it, a little bit of like worrying things and everything, but not sure you'll beat the Mac Marlowe ending, but it will be fun to see if you can. Which one? The snack shot? I did really enjoy the snack shot ending. It was nice to completely tie it off with like confirmation that he's doing decently, and you know, like kind of settled in a little bit. For some reason it was something where I was like, I feel like this is appropriate now, with Cassius gone and Alec kind of going. Let's just like tie off Mac Marlowe's ending there too. Any more questions? Any more wonders? Channel shows, etc. Obviously, I'll be getting into the things I want to talk about on them, but I want to make sure I address anything that people have been wondering about or thinking about. So. Okay. So, just purely because this is going to... Mac Marlowe ending was one of the highlights of the show. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun. There's a lot of highlights of the show for me, to be fair. Talking about the channel. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about... We've talked a little bit about the current Monday show, which is Sunkissed, Vampire the Masquerade. As you may have noticed, we're starting to get towards the end. You know what? We can actually probably just let that fade out there, I think, right? So yeah, obviously we have the the Sunkissed Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition show, you may have noticed, is slowly coming towards an end. As just mentioned, we have to tie up a few things with a few of the characters who are left, and then we'll be ending the show. Hopefully on a fun note. Well, fun for you guys as viewers. It may be massively tragic and make everyone cry. Moonkissed. So after that, for the most part, I want the Monday show to be a bit longer running. Maybe not to the extent of Sunkissed, but a bit longer running and a bit more roleplay focused in general. Obviously, Rogue Trader won't be as roleplay focused and as like, you know, deep roleplay focused, like the drama and the feelings and everything. But I'd like it to run for a fair little while. I'd like that to kind of be the like vibe of the Monday show. I have a few people in mind. I won't announce cast members for shows unless they've said yes and they're doing it, because I feel like that could be a little bit like dodgy, you know, where you're like, oh, Tashnar has agreed to be on Rogue Trader, and then everyone's like, or like, you know, if I said like, oh, I really want Tash on Rogue Trader, and everyone would be like, do it, Tash, do it, and then she'd say yes because peer pressure. Which incidentally, when Tash isn't going to be on Rogue Trader, so yeah, just be cool, all right? But yeah, so that's kind of what I want the Monday show to be. So saying the Monday show implies there are going to be other shows. Well, yes. There is also plans I have for the Friday show, which will be a new slot on Fridays. Possibly like 7 p.m. start, same as the Monday show. But I was thinking for the Friday show, I'd take things a bit more experimental, new GMs, you know, like looking for innovative and new things you can do with TTRPGs. Just basically have a dedicated bit where, you know, if you have a show idea and you're like, I really want to do this, but I don't want to put it on like one of the bigger channels, or, you know, I don't want to bring this to like a bigger roleplay channel because I'm not sure if it will work, or I don't have confidence in it, or I want like I want a space I feel kind of comfortable just trying this out and seeing how it goes. Is kind of where I'd like to take that. So in that instance, I've had a few people who've never GM before sign up to do certain shows. I won't tell you who they are or what they're going to be doing, but yeah, I'm hoping that we'll start ramping up towards that soon. The first show on the Friday show is actually going to be run by me, because I have an idea that I'd like to do and like to mess with, and it gives other people who want to do it and who've signed up to do it a little bit more time to prep and to have an idea of what they'd like to do. And finally, we have the Bar Brawl. So this is the one I really wanted to talk about, and just because it has a little something to do with my Twitch subscribers. Of which I see quite a few of you in here. Hey, how you doing? And also because it's has something to do with the Patreon, which currently is not up and running, but will be reasonably soon. The Friday shows are going to be more short campaigns. I'm thinking like 4 to 12 episodes. 12 would be an extreme. More likely like 4 to 8 episodes per campaign I would see being done. Which I'm a lot better with now. After doing Moonkissed, I see that there are ways to do like a very compact but compelling show. And I'd like to explore that a little bit more. So yes, let's talk about the Bar Brawl. So as you currently know, the Bar Brawl, it is essentially this, usually with a guest. It is my way of promoting other role players, other channels, cast members who've been on my shows. We've done it with Josh, we've done it with Hydra, and once Tash, Vandy, and Tessichka leave Sunkist, whenever that may be, we'll also go through it with them. Where we'll get them on, we'll talk about all the things they're doing, all the things they're looking forward to doing, planning on doing, wanting to do, and just kind of big up all their stuff and have them go off to have everyone go off to check out their stuff and follow them and just engage with their content, I guess is the best way to say it. However, that is not the only reason I'm doing this show. It's not even for the wonderful and silly and fun and etc. Tier lists. Because obviously, I enjoy the tier lists. I think people generally like fuck with that a little bit, have fun with it. The actual intention of where I'm taking the Bar Brawl is similar to the rear guard. Now, this is a completely different idea, but essentially I've been thinking of ways to do viewer interaction, people who enjoy the shows that we put on, for them to get engaged, for them to be able to do their own role play and not have to organize a group or just a little bit of fun and etc. So what I thought is that the Bar Brawl is essentially going to be me at a certain point once the Patreon gets up and running and once everything gets going. I think I'm going to run a little interactive D&D show where I am the innkeeper of the Wandering Inn. The Wandering Inn in a D&D setting. Essentially, the Wandering Inn will be an inn, a tavern, where all the Patreons and all of the Patreons and all of the Twitch subscribers. I'm still figuring out, kind of tiers and all that type of thing. So some of this stuff will be figured out later, but I'll give you the essentials of it now. You will be able to make Dungeons and Dragons characters. I'm thinking at level 4. I had a little chat with Peachy. Peachy knows D&D quite well, and I said, does level 4 sound right? And he was like, yeah, that's pretty good. So essentially, you will be able to make characters in a Roll20, and there'll be little interactive things, I'll put up job listings, there'll be certain areas you can go to, and, it'll basically be, the Wandering Inn will basically be a guild where you can bring your characters to. There'll be a couple of channels as well, so you can roleplay in different channels with your character, of course. And let's use a couple of people who've already started a Bar Brawl in chat. Kaylee and Damned Man. Say you both were Patreons or your Twitch subscribers, so that may work. I'm still figuring out exactly how that's going to work. You would have your characters, let's say like a druid and a druid and a warrior, right? Level 4 druid, level 4 warrior, and you want to do some roleplay and do some kind of adventuring stuff. It would be very basic in the sense that it would be like a job listing, and you could go look at the job listing and say, right, I want to be like I want to go and take that job, like defending a village from marauding kobolds, and then you can role play that in the Discord, and and there'll be a few roles that I'll call for you to do, every now and then. And I'll give you like a little idea of how it goes for you, like very, very basic, very, very simple. But essentially, you'll be able to kind of role play it out and you know, kind of do a little bit of role play just in your downtime when you're chilling, that type of thing. And then during the Wednesday show, the Bar Brawl, I will be the tavern owner. And if you like, you can come round to my bar, order a pint of Wandering Inn brand ale, have a drink, have a sit, and have a chat with the bartender. Or, if you'd like, you can even come in with a couple of mates and do a little bit of role playing with your characters, So you can have a chat with me and tell me about the adventures you've been on, all that type of thing. You can have a chat with other people in your party where you were going off to like bash some kobold heads. Maybe you found a nice sword or something like that. And essentially, I won't really do much GMing or DMing, but I thought it'd be really fun for everyone to be able to like jump in every now and then into a bar brawl and have like a chat and something like that. And we can maybe even run some like actual bar brawls where like a fight breaks out in the in the tavern, and everyone can kind of like have a bit of a fight with each other and all that type of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Well, like throwing out to chat because I haven't really seen you going into too much. But what do you think? Does that sound like something you'd enjoy? I may careful, the barman's a level 20 monk. Goes behind the bar and gets hideously drunk while everybody else is fighting. Yeah, like this is the thing, is it would be, it sounds interesting learning D&D stuff. I mean, I don't know how much D&D stuff. It's more like the roleplay, to be honest. Um it gives people a chance to kind of jump in and out and enjoy and try out some role playing and enjoy a little bit of role playing, and then they can come on to like, essentially I would be in the voice chat, and I would pull people in either as a party or as individuals or as in like two people or anything, and we just role play a little bit. I'd play the bartender, you'd play your characters. If you've just gone out to defend a village from kobolds, we can have a little chat about that and what you did and what you got and how and how you did and things like that. And then in the future, I can like expand it into a city, and people can even be like shop owners who, like you can kind of role play out being a blacksmith and making nice swords and shit, and then other players can buy swords from you. I don't know, all that kind of thing. I think it could be a lot of fun. I think it could be like reasonably difficult. The thing I don't want to do is overextend myself. I don't want to be GMing a massive game for like 100 people or some shit, it will be very, very basic and very very simplistic, but it'll give you it'll be kind of open, so if you're going to do the defending a town from kobolds, I'd probably say like, okay, those people who are in the party who are defending the village from kobolds, please roll me this, this, and this. And then I'd roll for the kobolds and we'd see how it did. And then I'd say, okay, so it's a tough fight. You take a good amount of damage. If any of you have like, healing spells, etc. You can use that. And then we'd basically go like, okay, so you got a few extra scars on you, but you earn this money and etc etc. And then you can come into the Wandering Inn and pay it, and buy a round of drinks, talk about it, get your payment from the guild, and then later on you can be like, okay, does anyone want to go and do XYZ, like searching for treasure or doing a little scout of an area or something for like contracts and stuff. It is the thought for it. Sounds very interesting. Play D&D for one session, I think, maybe two. Yeah, we won't go like, it won't be like massively into the mechanics of the system where you're going to be. It'd be fairly vague roles for the things you're doing, essentially. Sounds interesting. Good to be clear about it being more RP, not specific D&D. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be running a D&D campaign for everyone. It's going to be roleplay. It's going to be a roleplay game in like interactive roleplay stream, almost, is the best way I can describe it. I want to give all of you a chance to, if you want, to come on and roleplay with me and like play your characters and have a little bit of a chat about, like it'll be in voice. No cameras, obviously. Try and have a decent microphone. But yeah, you'll be able to jump in and be like, oh, hello there, sheepdog. I am a druid, I am. And I'll be like, oh, it's very nice. Good to meet you, and, etc, etc. I think it'd be fun to try. And yeah, it's gonna be a weekly thing, but you can jump in and jump out of it, So like if you have like a busy month, and you don't turn up, that's fine, because other people will do their thing, and like you don't always have to be on it. But if you're like, hey, I've got a free couple of days, I want to go out, I want to gather a party together, go out and do a little adventuring, you can do that, and then you can come in on the Wednesday and kind of have a chat about it with the people in your party, or just come in solo and order a drink and be like, oi, that one. Yeah, oh yeah. There's going to be a Discord area specifically for your missions and for just being in the bar as well. And there'll be instances where, I'll probably do like some light GMing. So I'll talk while I'm running the show, I'll talk as the bartender, but I'll also describe the things in the bar, and if there's like a fight, or if there's if you try and nick some of the money from the register, as it were, I'll let you know how that goes. And then like if you're if you're a thief, you might even be able to go off and like nick things from important people or get put in jail. Eventually, even you could play a guard, or like the head of a thieves guild, and like set up like. I'm very willing to expand it, so there's like a thieves guild in the city, or the city watch, the guards, all that type of thing. I think it could be a lot of fun to just like slowly expand a world with you guys. And yeah. Like the reason I was thinking of doing it in Warhammer Fantasy, but I was like, if I do it in Warhammer Fantasy, you can only be humans, and that's not super interesting. It'd be much more interesting to do it in D&D and let you guys be a whole load of weird races and stuff. It gives you a much more diverse, wider range of roleplay you'll be able to do. So just to kind of go over it, let's try and like clear it up a little bit for anyone who just got in, or for people listening on YouTube who are like, I didn't get that the first time. So essentially, what the Bar Brawl will be is a live show, which is interactable for Patreons and maybe Twitch subscribers as well, whereby during the week you'll be able to pick up jobs. Like you can like form a party with a couple of other members of the of the game, of the Discord, and go off and you'll have a character in Roll20. There'll be a Roll20 for this, and you'll have a character in Roll20, and you'll you'll take a mission to go and you'll take a mission to go and like clear out an area of goblins, maybe, I don't know. And you'll do a few basic rolls, like very simplistic, nothing full on combat or anything. And then that'll be completed. You'll get the like listed reward for that. You'll get any gear you managed to pick up, and then on Wednesday, when we do the Wandering in Bar Brawl, I will have it open so that people can come up to the bar, and I'll be role-playing my bartender a bit, and anyone who wants to come in and role-play with me, or role-play with the party that they just did their adventures with, like, you could very much like go on. Let's use people in the chat as an example again. So let's say that Damned Man, Grey Blue One, Cloud, and Kaylee Evil. Let's say you all had your level 4 characters. You had different races and different classes and everything, and you went on an adventure. You went on a mission for the guild. And you went out and you bashed some goblins on the head, and then you came back, and then on Wednesday when I go live with the Wandering in Bar Brawl, you'll jump into the voice for a little bit, come up and you order drinks from me, have a little bit of a chat with me, and then you're like, we want to sit down and just roleplay with our characters together for a bit. I just shut up and be quiet, and you could have a little roleplay as you're drinking your drinks and having a laugh and just enjoying yourselves. Yes, it's a little bit similar to the Rearguard, but as you can tell, very, very different. Because I will be encouraging you to come on. Obviously, there won't be any cameras or anything, but obviously you'd be able to come on and roleplay in voice and enjoy yourselves. And I'd be perfectly happy to help and to even GM a little bit, like as we're going. And they'll even be. I mean, if you want to know what kind of bar it is, it's the Wandering Inn. Like look at the image. Look at the image on screen. That's the type of bar it is. You want me to put the music on? This is the type of bar it is. This is the type of bar it is. So yeah, that's the idea. I don't know. Thoughts, questions, thoughts. If there's anything I can clear up, I'd love questions. Honestly, because I feel like there's probably bits I've missed out that people are going to be like, what about this though? How does this work? Or anything. So feel free to throw in questions. How big is the bar? It's not massive. The Wandering in itself is quite large, but the bar itself is a little packed and everything. So the actual adventure, how would that actually work? Like in chat on Discord or in real time over voice sessions? So the actual adventure would be in chat on Discord. I would essentially ask you to roll a little bit. So, like I would pretty much have you roll based on. I'm not great with D&D. I still need to like go over it and figure it out. But it would essentially be like, say you're going to go bash some goblins. You would put together a team, and I'd call for certain roles. Like if anyone has survival, you might be able to find them that way. If anyone has like charisma, you might be able to find them by like investigating or asking people if they've seen anyone. And so that would be the first test. And then carrying on, it would be you finding them. And then the fight would be like a couple of fight rolls, like just to hit and to a little bit of damage, see how you do. And then I'd kind of like go past there and I'd be like, okay, so you do this, you do this, you do this. And then, you know, like, maybe like a search checks or something, investigation, maybe, all that type of thing. So there would be an aspect of like all of us figuring it out together, because I don't believe anything like this has been done before, which is, you know, yeah. And there will also be instances like, you know, where I'm running the Bar Brawl like this, and we're all kind of chatting, and I'm kind of being my bartender, having a chat with all the people in the chat, and then like, you know, if you wanted, like, Cloud could pour a drink. Cloud's character could pour a drink over Mushroom's character and start a fight, and then we'd bring it into the voice chat, and you guys would have like a drunken brawl for a second, and then pick each other up like drunk and stumble off like singing or something, and all that type of thing. Every now and then we may even have like a little boxing competition, and people who want can jump in and have a little bit of a box for like a tournament type thing. Uh, Kind of like a mod, but with an actual GM instead of a computer. I guess so, a little bit. Yeah, yeah. That's a semi decent way of looking at it. And yeah, there may even be like drinking games you know, like once you start thinking about it, there's a lot of ways you can expand it and a lot of ways you can have fun with it. So that's my intention, is to basically like, and it's basically gonna be for Patreons, most likely, maybe Twitch subscribers as well, depending on how it goes, and yeah, just that basically. Um, it's my intention anyway, because I feel like I really like the idea. I've made the experience that keeping people engaged in written RP is hard, but having weekly stream voice Bar Brawl to collect the stories that have happened over the week could work really well. That's part of what I'm thinking. I also think like I think a lot of people don't really get the opportunity to roleplay in kind of like a, you know, like there are people who are like, I'd really like to roleplay, but I don't have the time to dedicate. And like we're not looking for like amazing roleplay or anything in the show, in this like Bar Brawl wandering in show thing. You know, it's more about people getting the chance to do it, even if they don't have much time, or, you know, or haven't just found the opportunity. You know, because you have to actively go out and find groups and find people to roleplay with. It can be a bit daunting, and it can be a bit difficult to do. So, you know, it's just one of my ideas for a little kind of Patreon benefit, and you know, it's so hard to find the right things to do to give appreciation, but not make it seem like you're paying for a service, you know. So that's like, hopefully it'll be something which works for everyone, and is a bit of fun and a bit of extra everything. Yeah, casually. Yeah, yeah. So it wouldn't be like a 4 hour session every week. It would be like, oh, I'll just log on and do a little bit of role play, and oh, we're doing this. Oh, that's fun. I'll do a couple of rolls, and reminds me a little of the TLD RP room, but more. I'm not even sure it's more. It may be less. You know, just in the sense of you're just playing your character, and you're just doing things if you want to and not if you don't. I think the official first lines of RP were throwing a bottle in a stool. First job was killing rats in a cellar. Oh, that would be a fun first job, wouldn't it? Like, if we get a few Patreons to begin with, we could just have the first job being killing rats in my bloody cellar. Oh, there's a whole load of rats in my cellar. I even have people to RP with. The issue is getting everyone around a table at the same time. Only happens really once a month. Yeah, yeah. And this is an idea which is like, you can get as involved as you want. Uh. So yeah, well, you know, we'll have a. Obviously, I'll need you to bear with me, as I have to set up the Patreon. I have to look into D&D a bit. I have to set up the Roll20 and see who joins the Patreon. But you know, it's hopefully it's enough for people who were thinking about supporting or who are going to support anyway. Basically, being like, this is something which is a nice little reward for the support I was going to give. You know. I don't want it to be like, I'm signing up for this thing. I want it to be like, I wanted to support, and this is a nice little benefit, a nice little bonus. I'd like to sign up for this once it's all set up, no pressure. That's, you know, like, as I said, Cloud, sign up to support the shows. It'll be a benefit for that. Does that make us patrons of the bar? Yes, so that's another thing, is you'll be patrons. You know, welcome patrons to my bar. And if you check this out, I should be able to do this very quickly. Unfortunately, it might replace the bartender. Yes, it's going to replace the bartender. Apologies, bartender. So check this out. Well, maybe check this out. Give me a second. Where the hell's the goddamn? Right. So it is here. Ah, there. So check this out. This, if you see it, there it is. This is the art for the Wandering Inn. This is actually, if you look at the shape and everything of this, there you go. So this is actually this is actually you know, the beer taps, you know, you like on the bar, like you have in front of the bartender, you got like the bar table bit where you come in and you order the thing. You have like the beer tap that you pull back and you like pull the beer from the tap. This is actually the Wandering Inn's logo for their beer tap. So you will be able to order a pint of Wandering Inn, which is the name of our like house beer. And as time goes on, I'm in talks with people about maybe getting a sponsorship or two for the channel, for the shows, so that we can pay the cast with that as well, and you know, like pay for extra art and all these kind of extra things that go into making a show. We may have a few extra beers that come on the taps, you know, based on our sponsors, if we do actually end up with any. So yeah, yeah, that's just a little extra, you know, fun kind of thing. Wow, you're really big now. Am I gonna fit on your head? Kind of, not really. Okay. Also, you're a bit. There we go. Let's make you a bit smaller. Oh, there we go. That'll do. So yeah, are there any more? I think we'll most likely / probably move on to doing the tier list. But if there's any more thoughts or questions or mainly questions about the Bar Brawl, I think is the main thing. Would anyone like to? Oh, the bottom of the image translates to "only the best is good enough," which is basically my. That's the bottom. Yeah, the bottom text on the image is Latin for "only the best is good enough," and I thought it was a really nice motto for a beer, like for an ale. But it's also kind of what I've been trying to approach all of my shows with, is like, it doesn't matter how many people watch your shows. Be passionate and enjoy what you're making, and be like really wanting to go the extra mile. You know, like the snack shots. Like, do extra things, have ideas, like really get into that shit so that yeah, like really get into that shit so you can so that you can enjoy the things you make. And then I find invariably people tend to people tend to like it and get into it themselves. Enjoy your work and never work a day in your life. I really like that saying. Yeah. So momentarily, I imagine for the Bar Brawl there will be no XP, but the best adventurers get the best beer that week. Oh yeah. I mean, you know, we'll try and get a little bit of progression, but I don't want to like speed the progression. And because, you know, if you have like a few people who've been doing it for ages who like level 10, and then, you know, someone new comes in at level 4, someone could just be like, I beat the crap out of him because I'm level 10 and he's level 4. And it's like, that kind of sucks, you know. But I was thinking more I was thinking more like the enjoyment would come from, you know, maybe getting some cool gear every now and then, like earning some money and then spending the money on certain things and doing all that type of stuff. So while I go and grab a drink in like literally 2 seconds because I don't want to leave this hanging for too long, anyone have any further questions? Put them in the chat and I will answer them before we go on to the tier listing, which may fucking destroy me. Like, this is worse than the 40k one. Seriously. Earning alcohol and tea. Is there tea available at the Warner Inn? Oh, it's probably Irish tea though, or I guess you call it Elvish tea. What's Discworld? Oof. Don't boil the leaf and don't lick the bone trees. That's the important thing. Tash, do you want to jump in the Do you want to jump in the Wandering Inn chat? Hello.
Hi, helps if I unmute myself.
You know, a little bit.
You know, it's all good. Hi, how we doing?
Yeah, good. There we go. So I'm gonna send you the. Are you good with streaming the the
You
tier
mean
thing?
in the Discord? Sure.
Yeah, so I could capture it and full screen it and.
Yeah, that's all good with me.
Okay. We'll get this set up where you filthy people can't see it, and then we'll put it on screen.
Do. Oh, I'm streaming it to Discord?
Yes.
Hockey. God, you're asking me to do things. It's outrageous.
It's funny because I'm a little worried that because we've been hanging out in the Discord every now and then, I'm worried that people are gonna see and be like, "Hey, what's up, friends?" And I'm like, "No, we're live, we're live."
We're live. Oh yeah, they will. We'll have to.
I don't think they will.
Okay.
I'll put it in. Currently live. Don't join.
Don't talk to me.
Voice, please. Thank you. Okay, cool.
I have a giant screen, by the way, so I'll
That's
just
fine.
zoom in a little.
Oh, I can hear your music too.
Oh, well, that's awkward. I apologize. Hang on. This, I can't sit in silence. It is an impossibility.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So hello everyone.
There we go. How's that?
Wait, what?
Hang on. I just swapped
Oh.
I don't know what to do with this.
I can't hear any music.
Well, that's my
Oh.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna sit in silence.
So, no, I can hear. Oh, okay. Okay with that. So if you change them from 1 to 5 at the top. Sorry.
These?
Sheepy, can we
1
have
to
some
5,
music,
yeah.
please?
Yeah, can we have some music, please, Sheepy?
Oh god, that's really loud. Actually, I could put something else on. It'll have to be on repeat, because it'll have to be, but... Put some sun-kissed music on, I guess. That's all, let's have a look here. Where is Sunkissed? Where is Sunkissed? There it is.
Are you putting it on in Roll20?
Oh, should I do
Because then I can listen to it too.
That's so difficult. So if you do 1 to 5 at the top one, and then 6 to 15, 16 to 25, 26 to 35, and 36 to 41, that
Talking
should...
real fast.
Right.
16 to 35, did you say?
16 to 25.
Okay.
In the land where I was born, there lived a man who sailed the seas.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah, we all lived on a yellow submarine.
Oh, I don't know how sustainable that is.
I mean, depends on what kind of facilities you have.
I suppose. I guess it'd have to be a large submarine. Do you have hydroponic plants? Like,
Sure.
what's the UV situation? Great.
I do like this one, but... You know what? I do like this one. And it's been a while since I played this one. I should play this one more. So. It's the wrong place. There we go. It is now full screen. It's 36 to 41, but...
Alright, I was just about to count, but that's easier.
So if we turn on the display capture, how does it look? Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Just a little bit off, but that's fine. Oh, that's the wrong thing to move. That is also the wrong thing to move. Really? Are you just going to be like this?
You can just lock things,
What?
Just in OBS, just lock.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's one button.
One button is a lot of work. Okay, so I think about there will do, except for let's move it a little bit so people can see the numbers. That'll do. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, Jesus.
So
we are doing the Discworld tier list.
Yeah, we are.
This is gonna suck. To give you an idea, aside from one of these books, I have read all of these. Not only have I read all of these, the ones I don't like, and when I say don't like, I mean comparative to the ones that I literally adore. The ones that I don't like, I've read like 5 times.
Well, I have not read any of them, so...
The ones I do like, I've read up to 60 times, maybe more.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
Oh dear. It's a good look with this.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I might see if I can turn you up a little bit. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're not quiet. I just had you a bit quiet for some reason.
Okay, well, I guess we're going in order, and we are going to start with Wintersmith.
Okay.
At 1, I guess.
Wait, are we putting them up? I tend to put them down the bottom.
Okay, fine. Is Thud better or worse than Wintersmith? Because I don't know anything about either of these.
That's fair. So, the Wintersmith is Tiffany Aching and the We Free Men. It's a young adult. It's really good. It deals with slightly more adult topics than the first two Tiffany Aching books. I really, really like it. However, Thud is a Guards book, and it deals with dwarves versus trolls, and really explores the way two people, two races or two peoples can hate each other for no reason. And it starts to show how the younger generations are getting sick of the older generations being like, you can't like a troll if you're a dwarf. You're a dwarf. That makes no sense. So, as much as it hurts me to put one book above another, I'm gonna put Thud above the Wintersmith.
I mean, the whole tier list is picking between them, so
this is why it's gonna fucking destroy me.
Oh dear. Thief of Time is next.
So, Thief of Time is a good book, but it's a one-off, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how you view it. It's basically following a guy who... I don't know if I should give spoilers or not. God.
No, just light. I don't mind, but
yeah, I know. Essentially, first one, you're already wrong. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the spoiler is a big. Yeah. It's a big spoiler, and it's a good twist. So what I'll say is it follows a monk who is a time monk. They basically see to it that tomorrow follows today.
Right.
And they go through history and try and correct things and actually sometimes like mess with it. Now it contains one of my favorite characters, which is Sweeper, the Sweeper. He's like an old monk who generally wanders around places and is like a legend, but he's a legend because everyone says he's a legend. No one's ever seen him do the things that they say he's done.
Oh.
I'm going to put it behind the Wintersmith. And
Okay.
it's mainly because it's really cool, but it's one of the ones I've read like a bit less than my favorites.
Right. Just doesn't quite stand up. That's fine. Fine, I guess. That's your decision.
Yeah, I'm not super happy about it. But then I'd be super unhappy if I put the Wintersmith behind Thief of Time. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah. By the way, feel free to pick randomly as well as picking from the.
No, because I have a list. Because some of them are cut off.
Yeah.
So I need to look it up on this list of books.
I know what they are, but
Well, it's good to read it out.
Sure.
The next book is Monstrous Regiment.
Oh, such a good book. Such a good book. Essentially, the main character is a girl who works at a bar. Her dad owns the bar, and she lives in a very backwards country whose god is insane. And their priests hand out a newsletter of updated commandments because the god keeps changing the commandments.
Oh.
I think
his mind.
I think some of the things that he outlawed as heretical was like babies and like potatoes and stuff.
Oh, well, he had me in the first half, but
Yeah, no, like he was
potatoes.
I think the color blue, possibly.
Well, this is worst god ever.
Right, and then what someone who didn't know about it was like someone who didn't
Blue
know.
potatoes for sale.
Well, they're like, but the sky is blue, and he's like, yes, very devout Nuggenites. Try not to look up. So the really interesting thing about it is the main character, she goes and joins the army because her brother's in the army, and if he dies, she won't be able to inherit because she's a girl. So it does deal with some very interesting gender stuff, which I think is very interesting. I think it's higher than Thief of Time.
Right. Wintersmith.
Wintersmith. I do like the Wintersmith, but there are better Tiffany Aching books. So I will put it above the Wintersmith.
Okay. Is it better or worse than Thud?
Oh god, this ticking clock is not helping me. Oh god, is it better than, like, it's so difficult to answer that question because they're both really, really good books. You know, and also Monstrous Regiment is a one-off, so these characters really don't come back in any of the other books. Whereas Thud is a Guards book, and the Guards book are one of my favorites. Like, but at the same time, I think the only thing I can go off now is my reaction to reading it for the first time, because they're basically equal in my head in terms of everything else, which means Monstrous Regiment goes above Thud, and I may change that.
It won't let me put it there, so I'll have to move it like that.
That works.
Ooh. Kind of want to move. Oh, we're just going to move guards a little bit further.
Sure.
So you have to wait.
I mean, there's another Guards book I see coming up soon.
Well, someone in chat said Tash going as if she hasn't read it. I haven't read any Terry Pratchett books.
Tash hates Terry Pratchett. Which is
There is
really
one-
harsh. Which is really harsh, seeing as he's dead. But you know,
You can still. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
you can still hate someone who's dead. You can, but if you're in a live stream with people who love Terry Pratchett,
I don't hate him. I don't know him as a person.
Yeah. He's a really cool dude.
The Color of Magic is one of 3 books in my life I have not finished and had to put it down. So the next book is Reaper Man. Where would you place it? Would Reaper Man go above or below Thief of Time?
Oh god, Reaper Man's it's got so Reaper Man is an earlier Terry Pratchett book. It's still really good. It really is. But the problem is with some of the early, like this is number 11, right? It's just after Moving Pictures, and I'm not a massive fan of Moving Pictures, comparative to the rest. The thing is it has some of the most interesting, like, sidebars where he just goes off on a little tangent of a really interesting, like, thought. Do you remember me telling you about the difference in perspectives of time? Where he tells a story from the perspective of trees.
Yeah,
and then
from the perspective of
mayflies.
Mayflies.
And he just does that in Reaper Man randomly, and I'm like, it's a great little bit, and it's so good. And like, yeah, I'm gonna put it above Thief. Oh god, why are you doing this to me? Why am I doing this to myself?
You're doing this to yourself.
I'm not. I'm not. You're the one who's ranking the. You know, you're making.
You picked it.
Okay. Like, so is Reaper Man better than Wintersmith? No. Okay, so that means it's either Thief of Time or Reaper Man. Honestly, I'm gonna put it behind Thief of Time. I had to do the same thing where I'm like, the first time I read it, I really enjoyed Thief of Time.
I see.
Yeah. which
Well, that's
means
what's important. That is important. Like sometimes the first time you read a book or read a book, and you're so engrossed that you can't put it down. Doesn't matter if you've read it 10 times. That first time is still going to be a great read.
and actually put Thief of Time above Wintersmith.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little change.
Yeah, little change there. I really like the Tiffany Aching books, but there are better Tiffany Aching books. The Wintersmith was the first really good one, but Thief of Time was great. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, each time you've said, "Oh, is it better than Thief of Time?"
Yeah.
You've been catching on that one. So there we go. So far, the next book is The Fifth Elephant.
Ah, yes, another Guards book. This is the one that was coming up. That's
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, it's an elephant. Yeah, makes sense.
so this is one of the the world expanding ones, like world building.
Mm-hmm.
He builds a lot in Uberwald, which like comes up later more and more. It's really interesting. And it's Vimes going off to be a diplomat for the first time. But Jingo doesn't really count as a diplomat because he wasn't really. I really like that interaction, and I've read this book like 60 times.
That's a lot.
It's a damn lot.
It's a lot. But is it better or worse than Reaper Man?
It is better than Reaper Man, and it is better than Wintersmith.
Ooh.
And
Is it better?
It is
than
better
Thief
than
of Time?
Thief of Time.
What about Thud?
Yes.
And what about Monstrous Regiment?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I haven't read for a little while. I'm probably gonna read again soon because I'm now thinking about it, and I'm like, God damn, I've read it so many times. And I still want to read it again. Can you move the Fifth Elephant up to next rank? I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because
We'll
there's
look at like that, that's fine.
it's like 5 at the bottom, and then
Yeah,
10, 10,
we'll work it
10,
like that.
and then
Okay.
top 5. God, I'm gonna hate seeing my bottom 5. It's just, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna make you so mad. Is it Tetris?
Is it Tetris though?
Is it the
Is that the Weird Sisters?
Weird Sisters? Is the Weird Sisters Tetris?
So,
or is it better or worse than Reaper Man? I don't know anything about
Reaper Man. So I love the witches. Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Og, Perditax, who is actually Perdita X Nit, but basically she moved. Her name is Agnes.
Yeah.
And she moves to the big city and tries to change her name into something cool. So she called herself Perdita X Nit, because she decided she couldn't get away from her surname Nit. And all the people in her hometown, when she tried changing her name to Perdita X Nit, was like, "Our Agnes, who calls herself Perditax," which is just beautiful. Unfortunately, don't you hurt me, Mushroom. Don't you fucking hurt me. Weird Sisters is not as good as Reaper Man. Weird Sisters is one of the books I haven't read. I've read like 5 times. I like it. Same as every Terry Pratchett book.
So it's a terrible book if you've only read 5 times.
It's none of these are terrible books except for one which I don't know. And one other which I would argue is possibly the only Terry Pratchett book I don't really like.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little while till we get to those then.
Okay. Well, the next book is A Hat Full of Sky.
Hatful of Sky is actually the book before the Wintersmith in the Tiffany Aching books. If I'm remembering correctly. It is the one with the Hiver.
And what is the Hiver?
It's basically an ancient primordial being that possesses people. And it basically our heroine, Tiffany Aiken, gets its attention, and yeah, there's some interesting stuff happens in that one. She starts figuring out what it means to be a witch, and it is reasonably decent, but it isn't too hard of a one to rank for me. It is not better than Reaper Man.
Is it better than Weird Sisters?
It is better than Weird Sisters, yes.
Okay. That was pretty quick.
Granny
next...
Weatherwax is just below Vimes and the Patrician as my favorite characters. I would be willing to, like, I don't think I could. Maybe they're all equal. I don't think I can rank them. Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just gonna say the next book, which I think is Annie again, with I Shall Wear Midnight.
It is indeed Annie. That's not her name.
Yeah, we're learning.
Her name's Tiffany.
Tiffany, damn it. We're not learning. Why am like Annie? Why?
If you bring Thief of Time and Thud up,
Oh.
I think that will.
And I don't.
Oh yeah, because you don't know.
I hadn't put this one down yet. So
It's true. Well, I can help you on this one. It is. Oh, interesting. It's just in front of Weird Sisters.
Oh, so
yeah. So I Shall Wear Midnight is a really good book, but it is the way it's written is one of the ways, like, the epitome of how people can't get into Terry Pratchett. It's a really amazing book, got loads of great ideas, but it's hard to read.
Right.
So the first time I read it, I enjoyed it, but less than a lot of the other ones because I had to read it quite a few times before I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like A Hatful of Sky is not as good as I Shall Wear Midnight, but I read and enjoyed A Hatful of Sky immediately when I read it the first time.
Yeah, rather than having to let it sit and return to it a few times.
Yeah, I had
see.
I've probably read A Hatful of Sky more than I Shall Wear Midnight is one of the ones I have difficulties reading, actually. Yeah. I've still read it like 10 plus times, but comparatively.
Just perseverance.
Yeah.
The next book is The Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents.
The only one I haven't read.
So we will have to put that last, I guess.
Yeah.
What have you got against cats, Sheepy?
I don't know. I think, isn't it Amazing Rodents?
No, it says I'm on a website. The Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents.
Yeah. So what's that got to do with cats?
He looks like a cat.
Oh.
Maurice looks like a cat on the covers.
Yeah, that's a young adult novel. I really like the Tiffany Aiken books are young adult novels too, but I know the Maurice one just passed me by. I had enough to read, and it's one of those ones where I'm like, I could read this, or I could go back and read, The Fifth Elephant for the 60th time.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a bit of a yawn there. Not enough tea. None of tea. The next book is Carpe Jugulum.
It's about vampires. Hence the name.
Favorites.
Okay, so this is interesting because I really like the Witches. Tiffany Aiken is part of the Witches, but she's her own thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Things are going to change again. This is going to happen a lot, Tash. Prepare yourself.
Okay.
Carpe Jugulum is in front of I Shall Wear Midnight.
Right.
So it's better than Weird Sisters. It's better than I Shall Wear Midnight. but it is not. It is also better than Reaper Man, but it's not better than A Hatful of Sky. Which means that Reaper Man moves behind Carpe Jugulum.
Like so?
Like so.
Wonderful.
You don't need to. Yeah. There's 10.
There's 5 on the bottom and then 6. Yeah. Okay. I can't read this one.
Color of Magic?
Color of Magic. Well, this one goes last then, doesn't it?
Well, I haven't read Amazing Maurice. So the Color of Magic is Terry Pratchett finding his feet when it comes to the Discworld. It took, in my opinion, him till probably Sorcery or maybe Gods to really start figuring out what he wanted the world to be. And Gods is book 8.
Wow.
However, Color of Magic immediately grabbed me. I understand why people can't get into Terry Pratchett because it really is thick. It is like chunky to try and get through. So this is going to be running off a mix of nostalgia and just love for the thing that started it. And also Rincewind, who is just a brilliant character. I know people kind of like went off him and everything, but fuck them, they're wrong. Definitely better, well, probably better than Amazing Maurice, but we're going to put him ahead anyway.
Yeah.
Better than Weird Sisters, better than I Shall Wear Midnight, better than Reaper Man, better than Carpe Jugulum, better than A Hatful of Sky, better than The Wintersmith, better than Thief of Time, not better than Thud.
Wow, it's pretty high up.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is nostalgia for kind of like where it all started, and there's a lot of good ideas. The Trunk is a great character, that's also true. Rincewind is brilliant. But the really interesting thing about The Color of Magic is you can, after you've gone through all of Terry Pratchett's book, you can read The Color of Magic. Peachy's actually rereading the Terry Pratchett books now and just finished Color of Magic. I said this to him, I was like, did you get a whole load of moments where you basically like pushed your glasses up onto your nose and went, well, actually, Terry Pratchett, that's not how that works.
Actually.
Because it was the first book, he evolved a lot of the characters and a lot of the details. So there's stuff in it that, like, in terms of lore of Discworld, is wrong, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of books. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm eating Skittles now.
That's fine.
Better Color of Magic. Eric.
Are you upset that the Color of Magic did well?
I was about to be so mean. I mean,
we can talk about personal taste and
Don't want to get cancelled, thanks. No, I'm only mostly joking, but sometimes people take things very seriously.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What I was gonna say is, if The Color of Magic is ranked so highly, how bad must the rest of these books be? But I don't know. That's just me leaning into the memes. The next book is Eric.
So, me and Peachy actually talked about Eric today, and he gave me a bit of perspective on it, because it is one of the ones that... so, people say there's a thin line between copy and homage.
Yeah.
This is one of those on the line. Because it's based on Faust, and it's basically taking the beats from Faust, and it's really interesting, but it is like it's one of the earlier ones, and it feels like he was sticking more to Faust than making his own thing. So it's actually below Weird Sisters. As much as I enjoyed it the first time I read it, I still comparatively, I don't like it that much. I just like it. So.
Right. Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
The next book to look at is Feet of Clay.
It's a chunky one. It is. It's another difficult to read. It's a God's book, so I love it. But at the same time, it's harder to read than some of the other ones. It doesn't flow quite as well. It's better than Amazing Maurice and better than Eric.
Yeah.
It's better
I mean,
than...
when you say the Amazing Maurice, it's like my brain skips over it because I know you haven't read it now. So
Yeah.
it's better than Eric.
It's better than Weird Sisters. It's better than I Shall Wear Midnight.
Oh, that was the hesitation.
It's better than Reaper Man.
Okay.
It's... Carpe Jugulum is easier to read. I like the book, yeah. It's, I think for now it doesn't go back past, it doesn't go past Carpe Jugulum, but, might be worth revisiting if I get some perspective.
Okay, well, we're having a little shuffle anyway for the,
Righto-ro.
for the levels. The next one, I knew this name without having to look it up. Going Postal.
Oh, did you read it?
No.
Oh.
No. But I knew the name.
So, Going Postal is a new character, Moist von Lipfig, who is a confidence trickster. He's a grifter. He's a charlatan. He's all of these things. He's possibly one of the most likable characters. He's so easy to like. He's really well written, really easy to read all of his books, and I enjoy them vastly.
But
so he's better than Eric.
Okay.
Sorry, Going Postal, better than Eric, better than Weird Sisters, better than I Shall Wear Midnight, better than Reaper Man, better than Feet of Clay, better than Carpe Jugulum, better than Hatful of Sky, better than Wintersmith, better than Thief of Time, better than The Color of Magic.
Thud.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting because it's better than Thud, but it's harder for me to put it above Thud than it is to put it above the Monstrous Regiment.
Right. Do you think you need to swap those two?
I think I do.
And then, is it better than Monstrous Regiment?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it better than Thud?
Is it?
I do really like Thud. And it's... Okay, I'm gonna do something that I'm gonna do something that I need to do just to... So there's a bit in it where
You need to finish some sentences there, mate.
sorry, yeah. I was just getting to the bit. In Thud, there is a bit where an ancient demon, is kind of possessed one of the characters, comes up against their like inner mind, and is basically thwarted just by their strength of will, essentially. But
Yeah.
they end up talking to the personification of like their will, of their mind, and this is the conversation, and I love it, and I need to So it says,
Act it out.
I am the summoning dark. Who are you? And then the entity replies, I'm the watchman. It's like, they would have killed his family, the darkness lunged and met resistance. Think of the deaths they have caused. Who are you to stop me? He created me. Quis custodiet ipsus custodes. Who watches the watchman? Me. I watch him, always. You will not force him to murder for you. What kind of human creates his own policeman? One who fears the dark. And so he should, said the entity with satisfaction. Indeed. But I think you must misunderstand. I'm not here to keep the darkness out. I'm here to keep it in. There was a clink of metal as the shadowy watchman lifted a dark lantern and opened its little door. Orange light cut through the blackness. Call me the guarding dark. Imagine how strong I must be. Which is, it's such a badass line that I have to put Going Postal behind Thud.
Thud's gonna be a hard one to beat then, I think.
Yes.
Even though the fifth elephant is beyond it.
Oh,
whoa!
That's fine. I knocked over my radiator. The really cool thing about that quote is that the being he's talking to is like has been around since the beginning of time. And it's like, yes, he should be scared of me. And the guards, the watchman is like, oh, he's not scared of you. He's scared of what's inside himself.
Yeah.
I just was
spooky. You good there?
Yes. Sorry, I just picked it up.
Sorted the radio out.
So yeah, currently the gaps to bridge are probably Monstrous Regiment, Color of Magic, and then like Thud going like the top bits there's like big gaps in there.
Okay.
Where you're gonna have to bridge the.
Well, we've got plenty left to look at.
Yeah.
Including Hogfather.
Which is my least favorite Terry Pratchett book.
Yeah. Below Eric?
Below Eric, yeah.
Well,
something about that. I think I've read the Hogfather 5 times. Like right. I haven't. And it was like every now and then I'm like every few years I think I'm like, maybe I don't hate it that much, and then I read it again and I'm like, no, I don't hate it that much, but it's still my least favorite.
Well, I know it's one of the more well-known ones, I would say.
There was a TV film on it.
Yeah, I thought so. I vaguely remember that being popular around the Christmas times.
Yeah.
The next one is Interesting Times.
God, I love Interesting Times.
How much do you love the book?
It definitely above Color of Magic, so we can skip right to that if you like. Wow, that's
a big old jump.
Yeah.
Monstrous Regiment.
So, Interesting Times is one of the last Rincewind books. It's later on. Like, Rincewind was very early. And this is around about my favorite Rincewind era. Which means it's better than Monstrous Regiment. It's better than Going Postal. It's not better than Thud.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Rincewind basically accidentally goes to the counterweight continent, which is rumored to be made of gold. And he basically gets embroiled in politics of that era where everyone thinks he's the Grand Wizard, except he can't do magic. So that's interesting for him. And everyone's trying to kill him because there is a revolution called the People's Army, and they make flyers, and then like post up flyers in alleyways where no one can see them, and whisper revolutionary songs to themselves. It's a very terrible revolution, and the people of the counterweight continent are not good at it.
No, we're gonna have to move a couple
That's good.
around.
That's
There
good.
we go. Ooh, how exciting. Tell us about Jingo and your opinion on it.
Oh, Jingo is such a good book. It's another City Watch book, so it's a Vimes book.
Vimes is very popular. I know of him.
Yeah, Vimes is a great character. Is that the one where the trunk gets babies, or was that later still? It was the one. Yeah, it was because that's the one. The trunk comes from the counterweight continent because Two Flower gave Rincewind the thing. I feel like Interesting Times should go higher just purely because you get Two Flower again. No. It's not gonna go higher. It's fine. Okay. Not yet.
Thud is a big one. It's higher than.
I do really like Thud. It's got some great shit in it. And it's written better than Interesting Times.
Okay. What about Jingo? Is it? I would probably. I mean, it's better than Maurice because
Yeah,
you haven't read
it's
it.
better than Maurice.
Hogfather.
I can. Hogfather.
Are we having a jump?
Yeah. So, Jingo is better than Color of Magic.
Good.
That's a good bar to set.
Okay.
It is better than the Monstrous Regiment.
Going postal.
It's better than Going Postal.
Interesting Times.
Yes, because Jingo has multiple perspectives and it's done really well. Like you never feel bored reading this book.
I hate when you get a character you're not a fan of and then you're like, oh, I have to read this whole chapter.
It's better than Thud. And it's better than the Fifth Elephant.
Ooh.
I didn't realize how much I love Jingo, but Jingo is a really good book. Like it's like it's just got everything you want. And it's got really good side characters, and most people get paid a decent amount of attention. It's when Clatch and Ankh-Morpork go to war, and Vimes there's a scene in it where Vimes arrests an army.
Just the entire army.
He arrests the entire army, but he doesn't just arrest the enemy army; he arrests his army too. Like his city.
Don't do crimes.
Yeah, like it is. It is so good, and you've got Vetinari going off with Leonard de Quirm and Nobby and Fred. You've got like attempted assassination of a leader, and then investigating all of that with Carrot and Angua. And then Angua goes off on the ship. You've got the 71-hour Ahmed. You got Nobby exploring what it's like to be a woman by being a woman. Yeah, it's yeah.
A lot going on.
It's
if it's well written and like flows well,
it does for me at least. Yeah. And first read was a very, very strong impression.
This one is The Last Hero.
So I really enjoy it, but it can't go past the Weird Sisters.
Interesting.
Just because of the layout of the book, it's hard to consume.
Better or worse than Eric?
Better than Eric.
Okay, solid there.
The problem with The Last Hero, it's a really good story that like made me well up even slightly. But it's like it's a kind of shorter story, and it's got loads of like in between bits, which is just it's like broken up by information and pictures and stuff like that. It's not exactly a book.
It doesn't keep you super immersed, I suppose.
No.
Right. This looks like the light fantastic, if I'm
It
guessing correct.
is the light and fantastic indeed, and it is just
And
above the
tang-fastic.
color of magic.
Just above. That was a quick
Yeah,
answer.
that is yeah. The Color of Magic is a great book. The Light Fantastic is the second part of that great book, and it's just a little bit better.
Okay.
So it's very easy to rank in that regard.
Yeah, I knew they were around the same sort of time.
Yeah.
When they were written. I think the next one is Lords and Ladies.
This is one of the ones I haven't read that much, and it's also one of the ones that I feel like I need to go back and read. It's been a long time since I've read it, so I will. It's better
Maybe
than.
you should do an entire reread. Like, there's a few where you've said it. Enjoy them.
Above Hogfather, above Eric.
Yeah.
I mean, Lords and Ladies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Lords and Ladies is the one where they're fighting against the elves, right?
Chat. Help us out, chat.
It's Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Og, and McGrath Garlic. And then McGrath is getting married to the prince. And then there's crop circles and whole thing with iron and
Well, the synopsis says it's Midsummer Night, no time for dreaming. Because sometimes when there's more than one reality at play, too much dreaming can make the walls between them come tumbling down. Granny Weather, blah blah. Yeah, against the elves.
Elf Queen, yeah. It is decent.
Better than The Last Hero?
I don't think so. The story itself doesn't really stick out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All Lords and Ladies. I'm gonna have a little shuffle again.
Go for it.
Because we've got a few
Go for it.
too many. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. The next one is Masquerade.
With Perditax. This is the first introduction of Agnes Nitt. She doesn't really feature too much after this. This is basically her book, with a fair amount of Granny Weatherwax and Nanny Og. It's a play off the whole Phantom of the Opera thing. It's actually really good in a lot of ways, especially the end where one of the characters who's like part of the theater but hates the theater gets technically killed but doesn't actually get killed because he gets like stabbed through his arm and he's like holding it under his armpit in like proper theater style.
Yeah, melodramatic, like, oh.
And has about 6 he has about 6 death scenes being all like melodramatic and shit, and then just dies, and everyone's like,
how many soliloquies though? Not enough.
But yeah, ultimately, it is. Yeah, ultimately he dies, and they're like, but he wasn't stabbed, and it's like the mind's a strange thing, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's true. You can die from like heartbreak. She gives up, and get so scared that. Yeah.
So above the Hogfather.
Mm-hmm.
Above Eric.
Right.
Above Lords and Ladies and The Last Hero.
Yeah.
And above the Weird Sisters.
Yeah.
The problem with it is it's not its own thing. It's kind of a parody of something.
Yeah.
And while it's really good, that is an aspect that drips away in like this is something of the kind of mid area of the Terry Pratchett Discworld books. Is they feel very, very, like Eric and Faust, very obviously, the Hogfather, very obviously Christmas. Lords and Ladies is very obviously Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's don't think it's gonna go past I Shall Wear Midnight.
Okay. That's supposed to be 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I hope it's going. I hope you're happy with how it's going. I don't really do
Oh,
tier lists.
Lord.
So, do you want to have a quick review of your tier list as we are around the midpoint? I would say.
I would say yes.
So, in first place so far is Jingo,
Mm.
followed by the Fifth Elephant, followed by Thud, followed by Interesting Times.
May you live in interesting times.
I don't want to live. I just want to have a calm life. Thank you. We
That's
live
fair.
in interesting times right now.
I think everyone's pretty bored at the moment, but yeah, I see
No,
what you
but
mean.
looking back,
Yeah.
then going postal,
Mm-hmm.
and then Monstrous Regiment. And then on the second to last row, the Light Fantastic,
Oof.
the Color of Magic, Thief of Time.
Can I just pause for a sec?
Go.
I
Sure.
really enjoy
Do it.
I really enjoy the dragons in the Light Fantastic. The fact that like you can there's like an area of magic that is so like brimming with magic that if you imagine a dragon, it will just turn up, and it's based on how good your imagination is. So the
Oh.
better your imagination, the stronger the dragon. I just thought it was a really cool thing where it's just like, I imagine a dragon, there's a dragon. It's like, I will serve you, master.
Oh dear, that could be
Yeah, it's
a
really
dangerous
interesting.
place. Following Core of Magic is Thief of Time, and then Wintersmith, then A Hat Full of Sky, then following that is Carpe Jugulum, Feet of Clay, Reaper Man, I Shall Wear Midnight, Masquerade, Weird Sisters, The Last Hero, Lords and Ladies, Eric, and technically last place, the Hogfather, as you haven't read The Amazing Maurice. And
I think The Amazing Reese would be last place in it. It may be above Hogfather, I don't know.
It could be a diamond. You don't know.
It could be. I don't think it is though.
You haven't read
I
that
have
one.
friends who love Terry Pratchett and don't like The Amazing Maurice.
Okay.
Well, again, like, you know, don't like is subjective. So it's so funny, like, listening to that. My brain is like, no, this is all wrong. Like, you know, like, so apparently I disagree with my, like knee-jerk reaction. I disagree with myself. But if you just move Interesting Times above the Fifth Elephant. Yeah.
It's above Thud as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Monstrous Regiment above Going Postal. Because I love Going Postal, but Monstrous Regiment has this, like, serious bent to it, which is really good. And there's some really good characters and amazing twists, and it is engrossing. Whereas Going Postal is a bit more fun, a bit more comedy.
Okay.
And I think this is a perfect time, if you'd like to, talk about that whole thing we're doing.
The secrets.
Give me a momentito. Just gonna pause music.
Okay. Oh, just jump that on me. Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you want, I could talk about it, but you know, it's on your channel, so.
Yeah. So, in the very near future, we actually do have the date, which I will look at my calendar now because I don't know what date it is today.
Do you want me to do it?
On the 3rd of June.
So in 3 weeks from tomorrow.
3 weeks. Oh my god.
Yeah.
3 weeks from tomorrow. Sheepy and I are going to be doing a monthly show, hopefully.
To begin with.
Which is called 40,000 Layers. Ooh. Which is going to be lore and painting. So I am going to be painting minifigures We're going to start out with some Necrons,
Oh yeah.
and Sheepy is going to be talking to me about the Necrons. We're going to be learning some 40k lore whilst I paint some 40k figurines. Hopefully, it will be a lot of fun for everybody out there, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited and nervous about it. And
the Necrons are fun. They're weird as fuck, and it means that we'll probably have to start off with the War in Heaven, which is it kind of like the War in Heaven kind of leads into where the Necrons are now. So it'll give you it's a nice starter place because
start from the beginning and then
yeah
we'll see how far we get, I guess. So we're going to be looking at that and talking about that a little bit more on my stream this week, and hopefully do some funding for that because, as we know, minifigures are ridiculous.
yeah.
So we'll look at that, and I hope you guys will be super interested because there's obviously Sheepy knows a lot, and I know that Necrons are scary.
Well, like we'll go over Necrons just in general on the first episode, and then maybe next time we'll talk about specific characters. We'll probably go into the Silent King the first episode because we'll probably kind of have to. But there's other like really weird ass characters for Necrons and
yeah, I think there's going to be so much that we're not going to fit it into one episode because we have a sort of time scale that we're going to be aiming for. It's going to be a little bit more podcasty format, so it's not going to be huge amounts of like chat interaction, but we are going to be having breaks because so that I can rest.
Yes.
And Sheepy can rest, I guess his voice as well. But yeah, let us know what you think. I feel looking forward to it.
So you guys have to come along and encourage Tash to enjoy 40k.
Yeah. Because it's sort of a joke, but not really a joke. That about the 40k being very overwhelming, and I hate it.
Well, it's the rule books more than anything for the TTRPGs.
Sure.
But
it's like there's a lot of things that sound interesting when we talk about them, but the rule books are so convoluted that it just puts me right off. So I think it's gonna be good.
Put all of the peer pressure on Tash.
Oh, great.
But yeah, it's gonna be really cool because like you'll be painting your Necrons and we'll be talking about Necrons, and then as time goes on, hopefully
the thing is, if it goes well and like everyone enjoys it and it's working out, then we'll be able to move on to other races, other
miniatures and things. Tash has already found one that she desperately wants to do.
Oh my god. But I have to get good at painting so that I can paint this damn thing.
Like we were looking over what possibilities Tash could have for the first painting project. Went with Necrons in the end because they're a little more simplistic and a good starter one to paint. But Tash found one of them and was like, I want to paint this. And I was like, yeah, paint it. We can talk about it in the first episode. She's like, no, I need to like practice.
I need to get good at painting first.
I need to practice, get good, and then paint this later.
Yeah. Oh man, I really want to buy that figure.
Yeah.
Stop making me think about it.
Sorry. So yeah, I'll put it in my Discord obviously, and I'll boost it up everywhere when we actually do it. But from tomorrow, 3 weeks from tomorrow,
gosh,
we will be doing 40,000 layers of lore and paint.
Yep, need to layer that damn paint. So that is also why I did all the cable management from hell. The terrible decisions I made.
Yeah.
So that doing creative is easier. Do it, you need it because we need to know which one it is. I'm not telling you. You'll have to come to the come to the 40,000 layer stream.
I guess the only other thing to say is for those of you who watch and enjoy it, keep an eye out for ways to support that show because obviously like getting paints and getting brushes and especially getting the miniatures can be reasonably pricey. So I think me and Tash will have some goals.
I've already had some thinking on it, and just need to work on it. And
yeah.
I didn't tell you that bit. We were going to chat about it. I just didn't tell you that bit.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Of course, now it's now. I have to wait.
Yeah, it's essentially just the level of kind of like, you know, supporting Tash's habit, I guess at this point. Like we'll see where it goes, but it might be a habit where it's like I need those middies, man. Fucking, you know, like itching yourself.
I'm getting shakes.
Getting the shakes.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for it.
That's something that could be interesting. People sending in models to you and then you being like, okay, now I have to paint them and send them back.
Oh god, but what if I mess it up?
Well, if you like one day become a famous Warhammer 40k painter, like miniature painter, then people would be
My
like,
favorite system.
people will be like, this is an original Tashnar piece before it's even got the imperfections on the, you know, it's like a collectible.
When I was doing perlers all the time, everyone knew it was a Tash perler if it had my hair in it. So, what will it be for mini painting? I do not know. But yeah.
So yeah.
So look forward to that, everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully have a bit of artwork in the near future, but we'll be chatting about it. And
if we have like goals and tiers and stuff, I want a drunk episode. where you have to paint drunk and I have to talk about lore drunk.
No. I'm just gonna get distracted.
I know, but still.
Oh jeez.
We'll put it as a big, like a further on goal where it's
Cheapy
like,
is determined that this is gonna happen. Like this is like second or third time you've mentioned it. The pressure whilst we're live now.
I'm just saying. I think it'll be fun.
Saying.
So shall we continue with the list of tiers?
Let's continue with your tier listing on Bar Brawl. I'll go. The next.
Thanks for that plug.
That plug here on the Wandering Inn channel.
Here on the thing you clicked on because you knew what it was.
Well, they might not know on YouTube. You silly.
Well, it's gonna say Bar Brawl on the title.
And welcome back to Bar Brawl on the Wandering Inn channel here on Wednesdays on Twitch.
Thanks for the plug. Are we in a time loop?
Men at Arms is the next book.
It is.
Tell us about it and what's your favorite thing?
About the book or just in general?
About the book, I guess.
Men at Arms is really good. Is that the one? Yes. This is the one with Lance Constable Cuddy and Lance Constable Detritus. Great characters, amazing bromance.
Right.
And it's the one with the Gon. I actually really like Men at Arms, much more than Feet of Clay. So that can be our starting point.
Okay.
Which is weird because like Feet of Clay was after Men at Arms, but I feel like Men at Arms was a better book. Better than Carpe Jugulum.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Hatful of Sky.
Yeah.
Better than The Wintersmith. No, can't do it. Better than Hatful of Sky, not better than Wintersmith.
Oh, okay.
I do really enjoy it, but again, it's an earlier one, and there are better books later on. So
that means like Fantastic gets to move up.
Oof.
The next, I feel like maybe we should push guards back a little bit.
I mean, if you really feel that way, sure.
I don't know the answer.
Gods is a good book. It's the first Gods book. It's like really.
What book would you like to end with? then? Because currently it's Witches Abroad, but
Put Witches Abroad up, like up in somewhere. What's a good one to?
Night Watch.
You see the one of a young lady, with a sheep or something. Yeah, that one. Put that at the end.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
that's
well, the next
legitimately
book-
the last book.
Oh. Guards.
Put it up front. All the way.
Up-
All
All the
the
way.
way.
Past Jingo.
Yeah.
Wow, that was quick.
It was probably my favorite book for the longest time. It's actually the eighth book in the Discworld series.
Mm-hmm.
For ages I thought it was the third. I don't know why. But it is a really good book. It's really interesting. Even though it's early on, like, yeah, everything about it's great. And if I read through it now, I could probably point out a few bits and pieces where I'm like, this isn't as good. But no, like mix of nostalgia, love, and just genuine quality means that it's top for me currently.
That was easy.
Mm.
The next book is Mort.
Mort is a death book.
Yeah.
Death the character.
Yeah.
It does have that magic. Better than Hogfather, which is also a death book. Better than Eric. Better than Lords and Ladies. Lost Hero. And Weird Sisters, is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Better than Masquerade. Wait. No,
Is
not better than Masquerade. I
Interesting.
do quite enjoy Mort, but again, it's an early one. It's only the fourth one, and I'm not a fan of Susan Stowe Haylett. She feels like a slightly worse Granny Weatherwax to me in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I knew the characters so I could have like back and forth about it, but I'm not gonna read them.
You never know.
I'm good. I have like an obscene amount of books that I own that I haven't read. I'm not allowed to look at new books until I've read some of mine.
That's perfectly fine.
I've got over 300 physical books, so I haven't read.
How is Susan like Granny? I'm not saying she's like Granny. I just feel like they're in the same kind of like character area, and Granny's better.
Okay. Moving pictures. You've mentioned this today.
Moving Pictures is kind of okay, but I'm not a massive fan of it. It's gonna be below Eric.
Wow.
It's basically a parody of Hollywood, but it doesn't really do anything particularly. It's just it's like a parody that doesn't really comment that much. It's just, it's like Eric. It's a bit more of a it just doesn't do much with the it's still good. I still enjoy it.
The few times you've mentioned it, if he's gonna compare and like homage or parody, it needs to be a good reason, I guess.
Gaspode is great. So the Monstrous Regiment is parodying like, I feel like Vietnam and also war from earlier times, like the Redcoat times.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of thought, it has a lot of commentary on war and on that kind of like jingoism and like, we hate those other people who are exactly like us.
Yeah.
Because we fought them before and we're fighting them again. Whereas like Moving Pictures is just like, haha, Hollywood, right? It's just
there's not a lot of like depth to it, I guess.
No, not really.
Okay.
Still fun and still good, and Gaspode the Wonder Dog is great. Basically a dog who starts talking, because Hollywood, of course, dogs start talking.
Yeah, obviously.
And then like The whole book, like the book finishes and he loses his ability to speak, and then in later books, he starts talking again because he accidentally fell asleep outside a wizard tower, and like magic like fucked with him. Yeah.
And he could talk again.
And then he finds foul old Ron, and foul old Ron's a fun little side character who just wanders around being smelly. Yeah.
Night Watch is the next book.
I will say this is a big one. If you want to push it back to later, I would.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those that I am aware of.
Yeah.
Witches Abroad.
Witches Abroad. Witches Abroad. That is the That's one I know less of. I need to. Fairy Godmother. Right.
You reminding yourself of?
Yeah, I'm reminding
is?
myself
Yeah.
what it is. Honestly, I can fairly easily say below moving pictures. Not a massive fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a few which, I mean, how many times have you read it? Only 5?
I think I've only read it like 5 times, yeah. And it's a long time ago. Yeah,
fair.
I think it was a fairy tale parody.
This one, I believe, is Equal Rights.
Yes, it is. The 3rd book.
Oh, we're in the top 15 now.
So Equal Rights is a great book. I love a lot of the early ideas, even if Granny Weatherwax isn't quite Granny Weatherwax and the Arch-Chancellor isn't quite the Arch-Chancellor.
God, Terry Pratchett, sort it out.
Right. Actually, I think you'll find that, yeah. However, it's a really good book.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that it's definitely gonna go. Where's the. Definitely above Carpe Jugulum.
Okay, is it better than A Hatful of Sky?
I will say yes.
What about Men at Arms?
I can't put it past Men at Arms. But this means I think that Men at Arms goes past The Light Fantastic.
That is a big jump.
It is a big jump, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, I can't. Men at Arms is really good. I can't have it so far down because
Okay, so that will then going postal. Men at Arms, Light Fantastic. Ooh.
And Equal Rights.
Better or worse than Wintersmith?
Better.
Oh. Thief of Time.
Better.
Wow. Color of Magic.
Better.
Light Fantastic.
Better.
Men at Arms.
I can't put it past Men at Arms.
You can't put it Men at Arms. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a big old change up.
Yeah, no, yeah. I really like Equal Rights.
Me too.
Like, the thing is it's better than Color of Magic and The Light Fantastic, in my opinion. It's the first time Terry Pratchett started to find his feet with the Discworld. It's the 3rd book, so I guess that makes sense. But
I mean, all 3 are, that kind of order. The first one, and then second's even better, and then the 3rd one's even better on your listing. So
yeah,
that's good. Nice little order.
yeah.
Good. You're happy? Any other changes you'd like to make?
Interesting Times above Jingo.
Really? Okay.
I really like Interesting Times. It's really good. Men at Arms above Going Postal.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what about equal rights? Does that then change that?
No,
Because that was
no, I don't think so.
it's not as good as
Going
the other
Postal's
stuff.
really good.
Okay.
This is really hard. I keep like I want to put my Men at Arms above Monstrous Regiment, but also I want to put Monstrous Regiment above Thud, but I don't want to put Men at Arms above Thud. So that makes no sense. That's basically my brain being like, none of this is right. They should all be number one. Except for a few of them.
Everyone's my favorite.
Let's move on. I'll think about it as we go. But for now, let's because
let's talk about Pyramids.
Pyramids, good book. In the sense of like comedy,
right?
But doesn't have that much to it for me. I really enjoyed Tony Robinson used to read all of the Terry Pratchett audiobooks.
Yeah.
And he did really good voices, and he was really good of the comedy of Terry Pratchett. And there's a bit where they're out on a night out after like graduating from the Assassins, and one of the main character's mates like goes over to be noisily sick, and he's just like, I don't remember reading that. Which just the way Tony Robinson delivers it just always made me laugh. He's like, oh, there appears to be a pink umbrella in my vomit, kind of thing. However, it is an earlier book and it's not that amazing. Mm-hmm. So I would say probably just below the Lost Hero.
Okay.
I really
it's above Lords and Ladies.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, then we're having a little shuffle. There we go.
I do enjoy Pyramids, but like the Lost Hero, even though it has its problems to read because it's got like it's like broken up with pictures and like random asides and you know. Yeah. It's still a really good story, whereas like Pyramids is just kind of fun.
Well, that can be good. And I think personally, obviously I don't know your experience, I would ask, is it good because of the audiobook and the reading?
A little bit, yeah.
Just the actual book itself.
It's a little bit the audiobook as well, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you like the inverted commas easier and lower ones?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just picking out of order.
Well, like there are a few that are going to be very high and very difficult for me to rate against each other.
Yes, absolutely. Put those last then.
Okay, so put soul music to the front.
Right.
What's the one after soul music there?
Raising Steam.
No. Okay, the one after Small Gods now.
Sorcery.
Yeah, put that one near the front.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one to the left of We Free Men?
Small Gods?
Left of We Free Men.
Oh, We Free Men. Terry Pratchett.
Okay. I mean, that is all
I've got.
That's number one, obviously. I don't know which book that is. I don't recognize.
Normally, I've been able to like pick half a word and just search it. Why are you asking me, the person who has not read a single Terry Pratchett book?
Well, you said you had them all.
Well, I have the thing up, but they're not the same covers.
See if I can figure out what it is.
It looks
is
like...
Is that Thief of Time? No, it can't be Thief of Time.
It looks like that's a contract, and there's like a nun person and someone who looks a little bit like an inquisitor.
Is that the truth? Have we done the truth yet? That must be the truth.
I haven't heard anything from the truth, so maybe.
Yeah, it's the truth. That's the truth.
Okay.
Okay, so I think the only other one that I'm gonna have ease of positioning is probably We Freemen.
Okay.
So
So,
it's those three, and then mess up all the others however you like. They're all
yeah.
gonna be
Can
difficult for
we?
me to.
All right. Well, we'll do the truth sooner rather than later because
Well,
I'll forget the name.
I had the hardback, so I yeah,
Yeah. I've got the
the cover's
list up,
different.
but they're not all the same covers.
Yeah,
That's one of my pet peeves when I have books is when they're different sizes or different covers. Or, hate it. They have to all match.
that's fair.
Um, but what about soul music?
So soul music is based off rock and roll and like Buddy Holly and you know that type of it doesn't really do that much with it, to be honest. It's and also I'm not a massive fan of it. I find it hard to read.
Right.
I would say behind Eric, honestly. What's the one moving? Yeah, it's better than moving pictures, but it's not. Actually, no. Moving pictures is better than soul music for me.
Wow. What about Witches Abroad?
Yeah, I don't remember that one that very well. So.
Okay. Just move a few things around, and then next we have. I want to say it says sorcery.
Sorcery.
Oh, yeah, but it's spelled with a U. That's not how you spell sorcery. Terrible.
It is. If it's
not.
Well. Sorcery is quite good, but it's also one of the ones I never feel the compulsion to read again. I would put it just below Eric, honestly.
Okay, but better than moving pictures.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
as I said, not hard ones to place.
Yeah, pretty like quick brush. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, or you just not?
It's a Rincewind book. Essentially, a sorcerer, the eighth son of an eighth son, will become a wizard.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you have an eighth son of an eighth son of an eighth of an eighth son, which technically can't happen because wizards aren't allowed to get married and have kids. But when it happens, you get a sorcerer. And sorcerers aren't bound by, like, magic spells, and they aren't bound to magic the same way. They kind of draw magic from a whole other place. Like, they have kind of boundless magic, and they can do a whole load of shit. Essentially, they're like Thanos, compared to, you know, all the other superheroes.
Oh, well, that's why you're not allowed to have them, right?
Yes. They do the imagination thing. But essentially, Rincewind ends up facing one of them with a brick in a sock.
Oh.
Yeah. So that gives you an idea of the silliness and stuff. It's a fun one. It's interesting, but it's also you know, it's an earlier one. It doesn't have the same kind of like depth and an expansion to it
and commentary and stuff on it. Okay. Let's place the truth.
Okay. The truth is a one-off for William de Wood. It is basically a commentary on the newspaper and has a really good quote, which is a lie can run around the world before the truth has got its boots on, which I really like. I would say, as a it's really easy to read, actually. It's one of the ones I'd suggest people start on for Terry Pratchett, because it's completely disconnected from everything at the same time as being connected to everything and being really good. Like, you don't really need to know who Vimes or the Patrician is to appreciate the book.
I think that's good for for how many books there are, like.
It's got some really interesting characters. Mr. Pin and Mr. Tulip, especially. Ing. He has a speech impediment where
Mhm.
he says "ing." It's like "ing." So it's essentially like it's supposed to be swearing, but he just says "ing." So it's like
Right.
give me the "ing" money. So dumb.
Nice.
He's also he is a drug addict with no drugs, in the sense that every time he tries to buy drugs, it's always someone selling like baking powder.
Aw.
So he ends up like snorting like just the most random crap where he's just like, oh, it's fucking great drugs, and it's like just ground up rock or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not very good for him then.
Hmm.
Do you want to take a jump or do you want to go through them?
I'll probably jump to. I'm trying to figure out where I would jump to.
Eric is sort of a baseline one here.
No,
that
no, I'm thinking it's definitely better than the 3 earlies. So, just behind going postal.
Okay, so
Big jump. Yeah, yeah. I
That
really
is
like.
a
I
big
really like
jump.
this book. I think it can't go past Men at Arms. So the question is whether it's better than going postal.
going postal. Mm-hmm.
I would say because it's a standalone and it's really easy to read and it's really good, and there are better Moist von Lipwig books, I will put it above going postal.
Heresy. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably is.
Yeah, like the truth wasn't one of the easier place ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
No, you're good. You
Gone.
just wanted to get it done while it was done. It makes sense.
Yep. It's audible gasp. How about the We Free Men?
Below I shall wear midnight.
That is my brain's like it's got hats in the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, over Masquerade.
Below Masquerade. Is that Mort?
Yeah.
That's above Mort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. Stay still, Mort. Jeez
Okay.
Louise. We're filling this up. Only if it's.
Move Men at Arms above Monstrous Regiment.
You were hesitating. Does that change going postal or the truth?
No, I don't think so. No, not yet.
Not yet.
Move. This is difficult. Man, it shows you how biased I am towards the guard books and volumes. Guards, Jingo, Fifth Elephant, and Thud and Men at Arms are all guards books.
Yeah.
But they're so good. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's your tier list. Tell me about it. If you enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the next book is Raising Steam.
Okay, so we can put this above the truth. So behind Monstrous Regiment.
Okay.
Raising Steam is really good.
Is that like a solid? That is exactly where that goes.
It's one of the later ones. They can be a bit janky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it goes above Monstrous Regiment, but it is really good. It's better than the truth.
Does it go above Men at Arms?
No. Men at Arms is better. I really like Men at Arms.
Well, that was pretty easy.
Well, you see, like, this may change. So
it may change. Yeah, it's. You knew where you wanted to go, but it doesn't seem very convincing sometimes.
Yeah, no, it did. Yeah.
Now we have Small Gods.
Small Gods, I love. it is a standalone story, but it's got such good ideas. Like part of it is a basis for one of my ideas from Sunkist. Basically the idea that gods get more powerful the more you believe in them, and the
Yeah,
more
there's
people
a
believe in them.
TV show about that now.
Yeah.
Is there not? Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
Probably.
So it is the best standalone, so it's definitely above the truth.
Right.
I do like the truth, but it's above Raising Steam.
Monstrous Regiment.
It's above Monstrous Regiment.
Men at Arms.
Above Men at Arms.
Thud.
Yeah.
What about the fifth elephant?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jingo?
I think also Thud goes above Fifth Elephant. Because it was harder for me to put Small Gods above Thud than it was to put above Fifth Elephant. Yeah, it's above Jingo.
Interesting time?
If you could see me right now, I'm shaking slightly because I'm like, oh god.
Like bouncing, like, oh, I can't deal with this.
I really love Interesting Times. But Small Gods is such a good book. Okay, yeah, let's put it above Interesting Times.
Gods, or small gods.
So, Gods is nostalgia mixed with being a really good book. Small Gods is just it's so easy to read. It's standalone, so you don't need to mess with the entire Discworld. You can read it by itself and it's still super fucking interesting. There's no part of it that isn't interesting. It deals with a lot of serious things. You were already putting I haven't said it's above Gods yet. You can't.
I keep moving it like this.
You were though.
And then
stopped.
I paused.
You stopped.
No, I'm still holding it.
Yeah, it's above Gods.
I mean, you were angry about that, so does it go below Gods?
No, it's above Gods. It's yeah. This may change, but it's above Gods for now. God damn it.
God damn it! This should be. The next one is unreadable on this screen.
Making Money.
Making Money.
It is the second book in
World?
In the no, it's second book in the Moist von Lipwig stories.
Okay.
It's better than Going Postal because Going Postal is my least favorite.
Oh.
It's got a lot of fun. You know what? It's not better than Going Postal. That's interesting.
Oh.
So no, yeah, it's just below Going Postal. But we're gonna move a few other things around.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because you moved Men at Arms and Fifth Elephant, so.
Thief of Time is going forwards behind Making Money.
Wait, I have to find it again.
It's up and right there.
Oh yeah, I keep reading it as 3 of Time, which I know doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that's going where?
Just behind Making Money.
Okay. Oh, above Equal Rights.
Yeah, we're moving those 3 down a little bit because Windsmith is moving up too.
Okay.
They're really good books, but there's some solidity to the
Wintersmith and Thief of Time.
Windsmith is not as good as Thief of Time.
Okay.
But also Carpe Jugulum is better than Hatful of Sky, and Feet of Clay is better than Hatful of Sky.
Hatful of Sky. Going down in the rankings.
I do really like those two books. They're a little bit harder to read, but Hatful of Sky it's good, but it's not quite. Okay.
Ooh, we're on the last 5 now. You nervous?
Yes.
You should be. The next book is The Last Continent.
This is top row, definitely.
Okay.
No, not top, but like current top row.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can yardstick this. It's better than Fifth Element.
Is it better than Third?
Yes.
Jingo.
Yes.
Interesting times.
Yes.
Gods.
It's so different from Gods. Because Last Continent is such a good book. I love it. It's basically an entire book of making fun of Australia.
Yeah, I could see the kangaroo and I was like,
And it's got some really good ideas. It's got some really good jokes. And it's the wizards as well. You know what? It is current top. Yeah.
The first one in the top 5?
The first one in the top 5. Just purely because it's not just Rincewind, who I love. It's also the wizards, who are fucking hilarious.
Okay.
It is a really good book.
The eighth son of an eighth son. Wizards.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning about Pratchett now. Didn't even want to.
There you go. That may change.
That may change. I mean, there's been a few changes.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a quick review whilst we're in the top 5? Top 4 now.
Okay, so oh god, fucking Jesus crap.
Take a breath.
See, like to give you an idea of the distance between all of these books, they're like, I could easily make an argument to put Feet of Clay above Thud.
Yeah, and yet that's quite a leap.
It's a leap in terms of like things in between it, but it's like it's such a tiny difference between how much I love them. So yeah, it's oh god. Put Interesting Times above Gods. Yeah. I love Interesting Times.
Does that change Jingo or Small Gods? With this little
I'm currently assessing something else, weirdly.
Okay.
I think put The Truth above Fifth Elephant.
But you spoke so highly of Fifth Elephant.
Fifth Elephant is great, but The Truth is also really good. It has this like closed, like Small Gods, The Truth. They have these like, and Monstrous Regiment, they have this closed element to them that make them a really solid like individual
Standalone.
story.
Yeah.
Because they don't rely on the other books. Like, none of these books rely on the other books completely, but yeah, no, it's those are 3 really good books. And the thing about The Truth is, like, all the extra characters are really interesting and like different to the regular books. Whereas like Fifth Elephant, move Men-at-Arms above Fifth Elephant. I really love the Fifth Elephant, but Men-at-Arms is such a good book.
Oh, what about Monstrous Regiment and Fifth Elephant?
It's hard to beat a god. Yeah, you know what? Oh, shit. Why are you doing this?
Because it's fun.
Please vote. Uh, it's almost impossible to do this. I'm just, like in terms of enjoyment, like just how much I love the books, I could put The Lost Continent as far back as We Free Men.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Jeez.
yeah, yeah.
How about
The break off point is Mort. The difference between Mort and We Free Men is quite large. The rest of them is like,
close?
yeah, very, 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 very close.
How about the first time you read the books? Because you've spoken about that a couple of times.
Yeah, okay. I don't think the Monstrous Regiment moves above the Fifth Elephant, but Raising Steam moves above both of them.
Does it stay below Men at Arms?
It does.
Okay.
That's what I'm like, yup.
Okay. The next one is Unseen Academicals. I mean, obviously this is going to be in the top sort of 3 rows, I imagine. With that noise that you just made, or
it's definitely better than Equal Rights as kind of like a
yeah, so in the top 3 rows. Wintersmith.
yeah, it's better than Wintersmith. It's better than Thief of Time. It's better than Making Money, and it's better than Going Postal.
Okay.
Monstrous Regiment is a good yardstick for it. So it's about football, but it goes deeper than a lot of the, earlier ones where he parodies something.
Yeah.
It's got some
About
really
football, or like American football.
Football, yeah.
Yeah.
Like actual
soccer for the
actual
Americans. So sorry. You never know.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Is it above? Like Monstrous Regiment deals with some pretty serious shit, and it's pretty damn good. Unseen Academicals is good, but more fun. There's not as it's not as serious, it's not as dramatic, it's not as tense. So if I'm comparing it to the Monstrous Regiment is more compelling reading. I got lost a few times in Unseen Academicals. I think we leave it like that.
Right there, above Going Postal, below Monstrous Regiment.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, that means that.
God, these last fucking 3 are rough.
Yes, it is. The next one is Snuff. Tell us about Snuff and what you enjoyed and where it goes.
I really enjoy Snuff. It has some, it's a really interesting book to read. And I really enjoyed it when I read it. But weirdly, with some retrospective, it doesn't cover as much important things. So I would say it's better than Unseen Academicals. It's better than the Monstrous Regiment, but it's not better than the Fifth Elephant.
Okay.
As things currently stand. And
you're happy?
Dear my... Yeah.
Puts interesting times in the top.
As it should be.
Last 2, we have Night Watch.
Take your pick of which one you want to do first, because these are both interesting ones.
Well, Shepherd's Crown is the last one.
It is the last book
published, so we'll do that last. So, Night Watch.
Top row.
Bold.
Better than Interesting Times. Better than Small Gods. It's better than Last Continent. Yeah.
Dun dun dun. I've heard a lot of good things about Nightwatch, though. To be fair,
From
so
Peachy.
no,
Okay.
from real life people
Yeah.
that I've met in real life.
No, Nightwatch is a different book to all of the other ones. It is like there's something about it that's beautiful. Like all of Terry Pratchett's books are intelligent, brilliant, genius, clever, smart, funny, witty. You know, it's like the best way I can describe it is like Buffy style, where it's like it's a whole mix of genres that you just like adore.
And it works.
It works. Like even the bad stuff is still good. It's just like you have such a high bar. You're like, oh, this isn't as good as the stuff that I like.
If you compare it to anything outside of his writing or Buffy, then it's not going to line up. But because they're going against,
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Discworld.
To give you an idea, as I said, up to Wee Freeman. Like if you handed me the book right now, I could happily sit on my bed and just read it tonight.
Yeah.
Like no hesitation, no, oh, there's better things I can do. All of these books from the Wee Freemen onwards are like I can read it 2 times in a day and not be bored. Going from like more onwards down, it's probably more of a I haven't read those for a while, so I'd be happy to read them easily.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to like read them whenever I wanted or whenever anyone asked me to.
Over and over again. Yeah. There's only a few books I have like that where I will happily reread them tons of times.
For reference, those ones in the top, I have read like I would guess over 100 times. And like to put context onto that, when you've read them so many times, you don't even have to pay that much attention.
No, I get you. Yeah, I
And
have a feel where you just
like
enjoy it.
You just read it and you're kind of skimming it because you know the words almost.
Yeah.
And that does include like audiobooks, you know, like sleeping to, you know, like laying in bed and listening to an audiobook while I kind of drift off. So.
Man, books are great.
Yeah.
The final one to rank in your tier list is The Shepherd's Crown.
So it's an interesting one because it's not the best book. Like, you know, just in general, there's a lot good to it, but it doesn't like smash like Nightwatch like smashes out the page and like beats the shit out of you with its hands. There are multiple books here that have made me well up, you know, like get emotional. Nightwatch, Small Gods, Thud, Jingo, Men at Arms, definitely. Monstrous Regiment, Wintersmith, Equal Rights, Feet of Clay, Reaper Man, I Shall Wear Midnight, Masquerade, Lost Hero. Seeing if there are any of the other ones down the bottom here.
Yeah.
They've all made me like pretty emotional and kind of like well up and stuff. The only Terry Pratchett book that's legitimately made me cry, like uncontrolled crying, is this book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, it wouldn't make you probably wouldn't make you feel the same way. It's essentially, I can't get into spoilers. It's so appropriate for like posthumously, you know.
Right.
So, it's an emotional choice. Technically speaking, The Night Watch is a better book.
Yeah.
and I'll probably regret it, but I think it's just number one.
Straight up there into number one with the Shepherd's
Just
Crown.
just purely because this is a tier list for,
You.
me,
It's not.
you
It's
know,
not. Yeah.
and
It's.
yeah, like the the book itself is really good, as all of his books are,
Mhm.
except for possibly Maurice, but I don't know about that one. I haven't read it. And
Mhm.
also the Hogfather, I actually think that's fairly it has some it has some interesting things, but it has the exact same things that Small Gods have, and Small Gods is much much better. So but yeah, like the
Are you happy with this? You not happy with this?
I so there's a part of me that's like, some of the later books was Terry Pratchett's vision, helped along by people, kind of like
Yeah.
writing down for him, and he'd like dictate and they'd write for him, and
Mhm.
like Unseen Academicals is a little bit janky, just purely because he had Alzheimer's and he was like,
Yeah.
you know slowly losing things, um which means like Shepherd's Crown is difficult for me to put up there because it's not just him, technically
Yeah.
speaking. And Night Watch
Yeah.
is a fucking masterpiece of a book.
I remember there being obviously discussions about it when it was getting a little bit later in his life,
Yeah,
and how he had copious notes about where he wanted things to go and how he wanted them to end, and how he wanted them to be written so that it could be finished when he was no longer with us. Um, so I understand there's obviously the other people involved, but a lot of it obviously is his vision.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, having not read it, I can't comment, but the feels of
It
it.
yeah, it's really good. I need to I need to little bit brain.
Have a
Um
little think, have a little review.
oh god, because I really love The Last Continent, but it's hard to put it above The Night Watch because Night Watch is such a good book. I love Small Gods. I love Interesting Times.
I mean, they are in the top 5.
Yeah, but this is the thing:
So
is I could pick any book from the second line and
from the
put.
top, like what, 30.
Yeah, I could switch them so easily a lot of the time. Um, yeah, sorry, I was just I got thrown off by V Mushrooms saying every time I read the end of the book of The Last Jedi, I couldn't not cry. And I was like, And it's like, not The
Right?
Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi. And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense.
um,
Unless you're talking about, like, my god, I can't believe they did this to Star Wars, in which case, I understand crying at The Last Jedi.
different type of emotion.
So I think the important thing is the emotional reaction it gets from me, and just, it's like, so from a like technical and standpoint of like impressiveness and everything, uh Avengers Infinity War is better than, it is like the best Marvel film in my opinion.
Okay.
You know, up
This
until
is
it.
a different tier list.
Sure.
But
I'm kind of, I'm working it in my head.
okay. I'll stay quiet. I'll eat some Skittles.
But Endgame is like a shitty sequel but a really good end to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, started with Iron Man, and then all the way
I
through
haven't
to
watched either
Endgame.
of them yet, so.
That's fair. I didn't like the big battle, but the ending was so good and like very appropriate. In that instance, because I'm not as emotionally connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all the things that happens in it, honestly, even at its best, I didn't give that much of a shit. With Terry Pratchett books, essentially a lot of these books, it might even be slightly hyperbole, but pretty much saved my life in the sense that when I had a night full of panic attacks and anxiety, it was one of the only things I could. They were one of the only things I could get into that would take my mind off like the spiral of anxiety thoughts and panic attacks and etc. Which means that the emotional weight of the end of the last book is such that even though Night Watch is by definition, by like anyone's definition, a better book, I think I'm going to keep it on number one, but just purely because, yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
and it's not like just it's not an English essay where they're marking it and giving it top points for structure and themes and stuff. It's how it makes you feel and how you think about it afterwards and everything. So
The thing about if we were like, if I was like tier listing the best books, like, you know, in terms of like, oh, this is a book, this is my favorite book because it's so well written and character progression and everything, like Night Watch would be at the top for me. The thing about that is though is The Shepherd's Crown is basically an homage or like a send-off to Terry Pratchett,
yeah,
in essence, and some of the later scenes, yeah, just literally, yeah. So I will keep it there.
so we will
And
keep it there. Good.
just looking, Men at Arms is above the truth.
I was thinking Men at Arms is one that you've moved quite often.
Yeah,
Is it better or worse than Thud?
it's better than Thud.
What about Jingo? Oops.
Yeah, it's better than Jingo.
Gods.
No.
No.
God's is a really good book. You know what? No. Well, no. The Watch TV show is below Maurice. Even though I haven't seen Maurice, I know Maurice is better than the TV show of The Watch. Aside from that, this hurts.
Are you moving Fifth Elephant again?
No, like it's Snuff's a really good book. Yeah. Don't watch the Watch TV show. It's fucking atrocious.
Oh no, yeah, I have seen that with Mr. Grumpy Pants. Can never remember. I'm not very good with actors' names.
He was in Game of Thrones or something, right?
I'm gonna have to double check because
Richard Dorner. It's what the Watch.
Dormer as Vimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Watch TV show is one of those things where it has name recognition, especially because of Night Watch. And they were like, "Oh, name recognition, let's do this," and then they just changed everything and like even the characters. I also wouldn't agree that it's a fine TV series. It's terrible character writing and nothing interesting in it, and such extreme changes that it almost feels, you know, like someone who doesn't like the Discworld. Wait, Tash, were you involved in this TV show?
I was not,
Okay,
but I
just
imagine
checking.
there would need to be a knowledge of the Discworld to be involved in
You'd be
in
surprised.
ruining it too. Going out of your way to do the incorrect thing, almost. If that is what it is.
Just for anyone who is like, oh, there's a watch TV show, maybe I should watch it. Yeah, it's better if you don't know the Discworld. They killed Detritus, like, in episode 3 or some shit.
Well, that's some spoilers.
It doesn't matter, it's shit.
Okay. Well,
They don't have Colon or Nobby at all. They don't exist.
that's dreadful, I say as I.
It is. Yeah. There's a scene where there's a scene where Vimes is talking to Vetinari, and Vetinari is like Vimes, I want you to go and look into this, but don't upset anyone. And Vimes is like, so you're saying that thing where you say you don't want me to do something, but you actually want me to do something. Is that right? And it's like, it's so artless and completely devoid of any writing skill or like nuance and like beautiful show don't tell that Terry Pratchett managed in a novel, and they can't do it in a visual medium. It hurts my soul.
Maybe I'll send it to all the Discworld fans that annoy me.
Oh yeah. That'll be a great way.
I'm like, I've heard good things about this show.
Yeah, you don't even need to send it to them. You can just say like, "Hey, I really enjoyed the watch," and they'll be like, "Heresy," and then never bug you ever again.
Oh my god, Okay, thanks. New plan.
Yeah. Sounds like you still watched a bit of it. I watched like the first 2 episodes. No, sorry. I watched the first 20 minutes of the first episode. And then I was like, I hate this, and I want to see if it gets worse. And then I started to try to watch the second episode, and it hurt me so much I couldn't, like Tash will tell you, if I hate something, I want to watch it properly,
it's
so I can hate it.
When he's so angry.
I've watched Batwoman, like legitimately watched Batwoman.
Oh god, the Dracula film.
Oh god, the Dracula film.
What was it? Dracula Untold.
Dracula Untold. It makes no sense. What kind of fucking general blindfolds his troops so they won't be scared? I'm sorry. Have you ever been blindfolded? You're more scared because you can't see what's happening. It makes no sense. And he's faster than the speed of sound, but he can't catch one falling bint. I'm sorry, do people suddenly not reach terminal velocity and actually can travel faster than the speed of sound? And who keeps, like 500,000 silver coins in their fucking tent? Why the fuck is that?
Oh god, he walked away in anger during the blindfolded scene and came back whilst ranting, so we could all hear him. God, it was so funny. Oh god, calm down, everyone. Whew. Anyway, so Shapey will be doing a watch party for the watch next week.
Sidebar. Mid-tier in here would probably be the Carpet People. I think it's called the Bromeliad series. Actually, it'd probably be like second lineup. Probably like they'd be spotted around in there. I really enjoy the Carpet People. That would probably be higher, but the rest of the Bromeliad would be lower. Dark Side of the Sun and Strata are really good, but they're kind of like early ideas for the Discworld, in my opinion. So they'd probably be like around about Reaper Man, maybe Mort area. Good Omens would probably be in my top 5. Good Omens
Ooh.
is an amazing fucking book, so good. Long Earth and that type of stuff I could never get into. It wasn't my thing. Probably be bottom tier somewhere. The Johnny Maxwell trilogy would be kind of mid tier. I really like Only You Can Save Mankind and Johnny and the Bomb. Johnny and the Dead is kind of like Oh, and Dodger. Dodger would be really high to do too. I really enjoyed that.
Good.
That's just additional Terry Pratchett works.
Yeah, I know of a couple of them, but
I mean, obviously, you know, Good Omens.
yeah, I know Good Omens.
That's actually like a semi-decent adaptation. Like, because I'm really strict with Terry Pratchett.
David Tennant's in it, isn't he?
Yeah. And
David Tennant.
Martin Sheen.
Is that his name? I'm like, there's very few really bad like with actors. If you show me their face, I can tell you what else they've been in. Or that I've seen them before, but I'm just really bad with names.
But yeah, I think
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Could you? By the way, we're not on the.
Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot it and put that. I'll send it to you.
Well, if you can save download it as well and just throw it in the Bar Brawl place.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, the Long Earth weirdly just kind of feels. It doesn't really feel Terry Pratchett to me. It feels like I'd compare it to Ender's Game, where you're just like, it's a cool book, but I get lost a lot, and I have to go back and reread like whole sections of it just to remember what the fuck was happening and like the Oh, you know what? What's it called? Geomancer?
I'm going to pop it like directly into Discord for you.
Yeah. Just throw it in there and be like, this is Sheepy's. Yeah, so it's
America.
Ian Irvine, and it's Geomancer, which is a really good book, but I could never quite get into all the names and all the setup of all the world building. So I was always like, this is really cool, but I don't 100% understand all the things you've done.
Sorry, I was just doing that. It is in the bar.
Oh no,
Discord now.
Oh, nice. Well,
hooray! Sometimes film and TV adaptations of books really like hurt me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can separate them quite a lot because I can enjoy them both or not enjoy them. And it's so rare that there's something that is so like a good adaptation, whether it be true to it or not. And it's sometimes it's really difficult for me to watch the films just in case.
Yeah.
I started to watch The Ender's Game, for example, and I was like, I have to leave.
I'm assuming you read Ender's Game first.
No, I have it. Sometimes when I'm not that invested, it's like, oh, it's fine. I'll watch the film first. But I was watching it like, what the hell is like? What is happening? This is nonsensical.
Yeah, the film tried, I guess, but it didn't really like the book's better.
Yeah.
I really
Is
wanted
always the
to.
way.
I got so annoyed with Ender's Game after researching the author halfway through. I never researched the author. Not Orson Scott Card. Orson Scott Card is one of the sci-fi dudes my dad really enjoys.
It's
Wait, it is Orson Scott Card? God damn. What the hell's up with my brain? Why did I remember that? I don't like. I essentially separate artist from art as much as I can. So, I didn't notice all the Mormon shit that was apparently in there, but
yeah, it's hard when it's like the things are in it as well, and you have to look at them and be objective.
Yeah.
Which is when it comes up. But like some people don't critically think about what they are absorbing.
You should try Dodger, by the way. I think you'd enjoy it.
Pratchett Dodger?
Yeah.
Do.
It's a fun one. It's not Discworld.
You know, it just sometimes when you think of authors or films or TV shows and stuff, and they're so hyped and everyone loves them, and then you go to like read a book, for example, it's just not gonna live up to it.
Yeah.
And every time I have tried, it's like I don't enjoy it, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is the end of the world." I'm like, for God's sake.
No, I mean, this is the thing is I have no expectations of you being like, this is the best thing. It's like, you know, there are a few like kind of standalone-y Terry Pratchett's that I think you'd enjoy, but you know, it's not really a must-read if you didn't get into Terry Pratchett or Discworld.
Yeah. Well, it's like Stephen King. I've only read one Stephen King book.
I've read a few.
And people are always like aghast, you know, and owning over 600 books physically, not even including on my Kindle and stuff, and only having read one Stephen King, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't care that much.
I mean, if you've read one Stephen King, you've read most Stephen King.
Read enough of them.
Like, I really enjoy Stephen King books, but they are very base. He's a bit of a basic bitch.
I mean, we've spoken about this before, right? How high was he when he was writing the book?
Yeah, like how interesting his book is, and how like how abstract it is in its thoughts. It generally coincides with how high he is off cocaine. So, my cocaine. Yeah, Discworld is hyped because it's good, but it doesn't mean everyone's going to enjoy it, you know? The way I kind of approach it with Tash is I'm like, you should try this sometime. And she's like, no, I still hate it. I still react about poorly because people told me to watch it, to read it.
Well, I only really tried to read The Core of Magic, and in my head, when I'm reading a series, I read it in order. Like, that is just how it works for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could read standalone probably, but so I started reading Core of Magic. It was a slog. I got about halfway through, and I'm like, why am I like punishing myself by reading this book?
It's fair. Yeah,
one of 3 books I've never finished.
The Color of Magic and Light Fantastic, I still enjoy, but it's because, you know, I read them first. It's nostalgic. They're 2 books I don't go back and read.
Yeah.
Because I know what happens in them, and there's no particular enjoyment from reading them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was my gateway drug to the Discworld. So
yeah, absolutely.
Whereas like equal rights is a good one, like actual good one. See you later. Yeah, we're actually rocking closing.
Yeah.
In the sense of wait, give me a sec. That's to that. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we can pause this and jump out and start this up. So, mine friends, let's have a little looky-loo at who's about. Obviously in the Discord. Ah, I see you there, you saucy minx. Obviously, I'll let you guys know in the Discord once the Patreon's up and available to patronize and etc. No 8-hour stream today. No, only like the recording's only like 3 hours and 15 minutes, so that's just pretty good.
Sorry, I'm not that interesting. Sales, thanks for pointing it out. I'm gonna go. Well, I'd say go to bed and cry, but I've had a lot of sugar, so I'm probably not gonna go to bed for a while.
Yeah. But no, this was nice. Torturous. I like. I want to go back and change everything. Like even now.
No, that is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's put the we can do away with that, and we can do away with that because we're on the outro screen.
Okay.
And we got the music going on with all the fighting and everything. I'm gonna send you guys off to Vundi, who has just started streaming. Yeah. That's why I was like, oh, I see you there.
I thought so. I saw her as well.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, and when we finally finish Sunkissed and Chris is like tied off the story, we'll have Tash on here for an actual Tash episode. Because she's not gonna play Rogue Trader. I'm telling you that.
No, she's not. Don't forget 40,000 layers.
40,000 layers coming in about 3 weeks. We'll be bigging that shit up as we get closer. May even have some stuff to hype it up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We will see you soon, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. And next Monday will be more Sunkissed, which didn't happen this Monday because we're all a little bit burned out. Except for Tash, who decided to stream instead, which...
It was a bad decision.
It was such a bad... I don't know why you did it.
I mean, I had a good time, but oh my god, it was a bad decision.
Yeah. I was like, Tash, take a day off with the rest of us. She says, no, I'm gonna stream.
I put contact lenses in.
All right, guys. See you next time.